This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Can you say 3P? Union Scotties, WPIAL champions.
The New Shannock Lancers are PIAA Class 2A state champions once again.
Swing and a miss. The Union Scotties. It's double gold for the County of Champions.
Wilmington, your District 10 1A champ.
Makes the catch. That will do it. Mohawk, back to back. Go celebrate.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
There he is. Left corner for three. He's the now all-time leading scorer.
Palmer McCain makes the catch. Somehow the adjustment, and he is going to take it to the house.
Menses Monitis works through Rinson. Has a chance. Score!
Off the tip of the glove of the first baseman, Benedict. Actually recovered. And did they get her? They did!
He has wide open. Dave McKnight gets the touchdown.
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet. Coming to you live from the County of Champions. It's high school football here in the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Tonight, the Laurel Spartans in a first-place battle against the Southside Rams and the Mohawk Warriors hosting the Freedom Bulldogs. Tonight's broadcast available at lcsportsnet.com. You can watch on Facebook Live, streaming on Twitter and X, the Triple I High School Sports Network, City View Sportscast, and also on the NFHS Network. It's all brought to you by Maley Chiropractic, by MVP Insurance, by Castle Asphalt, by The Red Zone, by UPMC Orthopedic Care, by Medora Bonner Law, by Nick's Auto Body, by Doran Concrete, by Parada Jones McCree, by Luxembourg Garrett Kelly and George, by Newcastle Transit Authority, Gem Builders Incorporated, Pontius Insurance, Joseph's Marketplace, the Crane Room Grill, Works in Progress Paint Services, Sims Cafe, the City Rescue Mission, the Tri-County Principals Association, and of course the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Another edition of the Castle Asphalt pregame show. Here we are, Week 8, Game 9 of the season. Stretch run in full effect as we have just 2 weeks left to go here in the high school season. Castle Asphalt, they've been in the paving construction business now for nearly 20 years, using top-of-the-line equipment and resources. They guarantee that every job is done correctly and efficiently. Castle Asphalt, innovative methods combined with years of experience. We're going to kick off our pregame show before we head out to the stadiums here, taking a look at what's going on with the games this week, and we'll start with the two games we have. Battle for first place between Laurel and Southside Beaver. This Laurel team on a tear, 4 games throughout the conference season so far. Those are 4 games that they've allowed just 1 touchdown in those games. Now they're going to take on the top 2 teams that are remaining in the conference here, Neshannock next week, Southside this week. Spartans coming off of another fantastic performance, 3 touchdowns on the ground from Nathan Hill, a touchdown both rushing and receiving for Colton Carlson. This offense clicking. Hill is the top touchdown runner in the county right now. They're firing on all cylinders, but they're going to have to take on a Southside team that just took it to Neshannock to the tune of 441 rushing yards a week ago behind A.C. Corfield, over 200 yards on the ground for him alone. Look at what Laurel did, though, defensively. Again, only 1 touchdown allowed all conference season, and last week holding Shenango to just 40 yards of offense. Going to be a good one there for not senior night. Senior night's next week for the Spartans. It is first responders night there at the Spartan Stadium. We'll have Tim Continenza and Eric Thomas on the call for that one tonight there at Laurel High School. Kickoff coming in just about a half an hour. The other game we have coverage of is Mohawk against Freedom, a casket game, so to speak, in Class 2A's Midwestern Athletic Conference. Both teams basically in playoff mode. Needed a win last week to continue on with their season and keep their playoff hopes alive. Same thing here in what's turning into a jam-packed scenario with the Midwestern Athletic Conference. Basically, you look at it, all 7 teams minus Union, who is still winless on the year, more on the Scotties in a minute, but all 7 teams, not only are they still in playoff contention, 6 of the 7 still technically have a chance to get a conference championship not outright necessarily, but still has a chance to be considered conference champs at the end of this next 2-week period. Absolute insanity going on here in the MAC. Freedom needed to beat winless Union last week. It was a tough one. They were able to extend a long drive late in the game, a 10-minute drive of sorts to essentially ice the clock and win that game at home, 20-14 over the Scotties. And it's all about Caden Bailey for Freedom right now. 180 yards on the ground and a couple of touchdowns. Also caught a 74-yard pass for a score last week. He is the main focal point of the offense that Mohawk is going to have to handle. Mohawk was the complete opposite spectrum. They had to win in a game against a undefeated opponent last week in Western Beaver, and they did so in flying colors. How about a 40-20 victory? Bobby Fadden throws for a touchdown, also throws a pick six, or catches a pick six, I should say, for Mohawk. They jumped out early, 19-0. Also, it was career highs in both rushing yards, rushing attempts, and rushing touchdowns for Lucas Stratton. Got everybody involved. Even Joey Nail and Landon Ardro had rushing touchdowns in the game last week as well. Going to be a good one there at Bessemer. Again, a casket game. Winner still a chance not only at playoffs but at a conference championship. Loser likely eliminated. Not officially mathematically eliminated, but likely will be eliminated from playoff contention. We'll look at the other 5 games going on across the county here tonight when we return on the Castle Asphalt pregame show back in a moment here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Having a safe and healthy home is not something to play games with, especially if your home was built before 1978. You may be exposed to extremely harmful lead-based paint hazards. If you're concerned about lead in your home, don't roll the dice on your family's safety. LCAP's Healthy Homes Lead Hazard Reduction Program is here to help you win the battle. Your family's health and safety is the goal. Contact the Department of Healthy Homes today.
Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Neshannock's Maddie Arrow as the September Red Zone Female Athlete of the Month for finishing as section runner-up in girls tennis, the doubles champion in the section, and qualifying for states in doubles. LC SportsNet is also proud to honor Neshannock's Rocco Baiuti as the September Male Athlete of the Month for finishing 3rd in the WPIAL Golf Championships and qualifying for states. Congratulations and best of luck to Neshannock's Rocco Baiuti and Maddie Arrow, the September Red Zone Athletes of the Month.
Calling all sports fans. Never miss a moment with real-time alerts, keeping you in the loop when your favorite teams are playing.
Get instant updates sent straight to your phone with game schedules, changes, and all the latest news.
You can receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for game time.
Be the first to cheer on your local teams and show your support.
Receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for the game.
Signing up is quick and easy. Don't miss out. Sign up now and stay connected to the action.
Plus, follow us on social media for live updates, behind-the-scenes content, and community news.
Congratulations to our September LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Mohawk Boys Cross Country as the LCAP Team of the Month after winning their 2nd consecutive undefeated section championship. Congratulations to coaches Jared Stratton and Cam Shermer and the Mohawk Boys Cross Country Team, the LCAP Team of the Month.
Thank you for calling AXE. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. AXE can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joy ride.
It's so convenient for them. We take them door to door. We help them get off and on the bus so they need to use the lifts. I love the people, especially the senior citizens.
They care about us as much as we care about them.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joy ride, call AXE today.
Another joy ride quickly through our fall sports season. Playoffs are underway. I'll talk about playoffs here in a moment. I want to give a shout out to last night's champions, the 7th grade Neshannock Lancers and the 8th grade Mohawk Warriors, champions of the Tri-County Junior High Girls Basketball Championships. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Laurel and Neshannock football. They will be playing in the Junior High Middle School Football Championships coming up next week. We'll have coverage of that as well on Wednesday. Brackets starting to come out. Earlier today, the volleyball playoffs were announced. Yesterday, the D10 volleyball and soccer playoffs were announced for where Wilmington is going in both boys and girls soccer as well as volleyball. Volleyball will play on Thursday. Both the boys and girls soccer teams have byes. And Neshannock soccer They're playing tomorrow on the road, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., and we will have a free video broadcast of that game at 11 a.m. as the Lancers take on the Springdale Dynamos at their brand new turf facility. 2 weeks left before we get into the football playoffs, and still lots to be gained and figured out here, what's going on in terms of who will be making it into the postseason. Unfortunately, the only county team mathematically eliminated are the winless Union Scotties. They have played in a lot of close games like Mohawk has over the course of this conference season. Mohawk has been able to eke a couple of them out. Union, unfortunately, has not. Again, lost by 2 points, 6 points a week ago, an overtime loss. They've had the 7-point loss to Mohawk. They've had a lot of close games, could not quite capitalize. They've had 2 different 100-yard rushers each of the last 2 weeks between Johnny Million and Monte Booker. Can they find a balance between the two of them, maybe both going off in the same game? That's probably what it's going to take against an Elwood City team flying high at a 48-14 win last week. 5 touchdown passes thrown from Tyler Smiley, just shy of 300 yards through the air a week ago for the Wolverines, who, again, they're a game ahead of Mohawk at 3-2, tied there with Riverside for a tie for third place right now in conference. Remember, top 3 teams in the MAC, and the same with the top 3 in the Big 7 in Class 1A, will qualify for the WPIAL playoffs. You could have more. There could be wild cards. We'll talk about that throughout the course of our broadcast. But Elwood City, a win tonight. It won't guarantee it, but will pretty much solidify them being in the top 4, and I would be surprised if the top 4 do not make it into the postseason out of the MAC. Only 2 teams are guaranteed out of the Parkway Conference in Class 4A, and right now there's a 4-way tie for first place with Newcastle, West Allegheny, Aliquippa, and Montour. Canes tonight are at Blackhawk. They need to take care of business. At Blackhawk this week, at Ambridge the following week. If they win those 2, they have a share of the conference title. No questions asked. They will be into the postseason for sure. But they got to do what they got to do. Marino Graham, a couple touchdown passes, but a couple interceptions last week. He's actually the county's leading passer as the freshman, over 1,000 yards through the air on the season. In District 10, Wilmington also needs to take care of business in their last region game. A win at Charlottesville tonight, they'll be the number 1 seed as the defending 1A champions there in District 10. Chase Mitchell-Tree back in action last week, returned a kick for a touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns a week ago as well. He's been on fire every time that he is in the lineup. 2 other Big 7 conference games. Shenango non-conference tonight, hosting Fort Cherry, who just had a monster win, a 40-point win over Bishop Canavan. Matt Sig, he hasn't needed they basically shut him down from throwing the football. He hasn't needed to, though. Accounted for 5 touchdowns 3 different ways, rushing, pick 6, kick or punt return. He's doing it all. The former Penn State commit. He's all that. The 2-time defending champions are going to be a struggle for Shenango. And again, they're just looking to get a little more consistency. They had a couple of great games in the middle of the year. Last couple of games, the offense has started a bit. Can they get this one? It's going to be rough, but they got to get themselves set up for what's probably a win-in-your-in game next week against Summit Academy. Speaking of Summit Academy, that's where Neshannock will travel tomorrow, a 12:30 kickoff there in beautiful Herman, Pennsylvania, to take on the Summit Academy Knights. Neshannock also looking for a big bounce back, looking to come back as well. Ashton Allison cleared. Good to see him back after missing the last month. Ryan Cameron will be back. So Neshannock getting some pieces together, and they get this game to work out maybe a couple of kinks before they take on Laurel, where it could be a battle for second or it could be a battle for tri-champions, depending on what happens tonight between the Rams and the Spartans. We'll send you out to that game here in a moment. If Southside wins, they are guaranteed a conference championship, because even a loss would mean they would have the tiebreaker over both Laurel and Neshannock. If Laurel wins tonight, it sets up what could be tri-champions if Neshannock could then make it a 3-way split. Lots of fun going to be happening tonight and over the next 2 weeks as we get ready into the final weeks of the football season and, of course, the playoffs coming up. Thanks for tuning in to your Castle Asphalt pregame show. Let's head you out now to the game tonight that you will be watching. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned after as well for the postgame shows with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Out to Laurel and out to Mohawk we go. Thanks for tuning in on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Tonight from Laurel High School, the Big 7 conference title is up for grabs as it's 7-1 Laurel taking on 7-1 Southside. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you here tonight for what is going to be a really good showdown here tonight between these 2 teams, both 4-0 in the Big 7. And the winner of this game, of course, will have the inside track and at least earn a share of the Big 7 title, which will come down to next week when Laurel and Neshannock do battle in the final game of the regular season. A week ago, Tim Continenza, this Southside team went on the road to Neshannock and just took apart the Lancers. 35 unanswered points. They gave up an early touchdown to Gina Mazzocco, a 60-yard touchdown run, and then from there just did what they do, and that's grind out opponents, and walked out of there with an easy 35-7 win.
That's exactly it. Grind is the perfect word. They just stayed on the ground and did what they needed to do and just dominated. Their offense and defensive lines were the keys to the game. Let's be honest. They were able to do what they wanted against that Neshannock team and truly put themselves in great position coming into tonight's game. So we got to battle two quality schools here, battling for a league title.
Yeah, it's going to come down to next week for sure with Laurel and Neshannock in the final game of the regular season. For Southside, they pretty much will have this thing wrapped up if they win here tonight. You look at the single-A standings here. As far as the Big 7 goes, Laurel and Southside both 4-0. Neshannock still has not gotten that week 4 or week 3 win over Rochester officially awarded to them yet. So they sit there at 2-1, but then when that happens, that will even up things a little bit more, especially with the loser of this game here tonight. Shenango still hanging on there at 2-3, and then Summit, Northgate, and Rochester are bringing up the rear. But then you look across single A in the rest of the WPIAL. Fort Cherry undefeated. They're at Shenango tonight. Clareton still undefeated. They pretty much have wrapped up the Eastern. And then in the Tri-County South, Cal, Jefferson, Morgan, and Bentworth are all still battling for that position too. So this game becomes important. Laurel wrapped up a playoff spot a couple weeks ago with their win over Summit, but important tonight not only just to get that conference title, but for the Spartans, a big win to their credit. The best team they've played so far, Bishop Canevin, beat them a couple weeks ago on the road. But then they come back, they improve their seed, and they have a chance then for a conference title. Step 1, get in the playoffs. They did that. Step 2, get the conference title. And Step 3, advance in the playoffs. And they're looking for Step 2 here tonight.
Yeah, and you got to defend your home court. I mean, this is their home field. This is something very important to them. This is a game that they want to win. They have to win in a lot of ways, and I think that's exactly it. You have your sights in order as you mentioned them, and one of the things that you're going to talk to your team about is you got to defend your field. This is our school. We're going to defend it. We're not going to have a team come in here and rough us up and take what happened in Neshannock where they lose by 28 points and really have the ball run over them. It's going to be a battle of the trenches, really. The front seven, defensively for Laurel against that offensive line and vice versa. So I'm really looking forward to tonight's game on that level. We're going to see, I think, an interesting contrast of teams. We got both teams can run the ball, but we also have Laurel who can mix in enough of the air game to be dangerous.
A couple of record-setting performers on both sides here tonight. A.C. Corfield's the all-time leading rusher at Southside. He set that mark a week ago against Neshannock. And, of course, Lucas Santini, the all-time leading passer in Laurel Spartans history. They'll both be on opposite sides here tonight for their respective teams. You mentioned the contrasting styles, but one of the things that's going to be the focus of this game tonight is going to be the play of the run defense by Laurel. Neshannock was completely obliterated at the line of scrimmage last week in the loss to Southside. They could not stop the run at all. And as a matter of fact, that pretty much is Laurel's strength this season, is they're only giving up 73 yards a game, and then you look across the way, and here comes a team averaging over 300 yards on the ground on the season. So what has to happen tonight for this Laurel team to be remarkably better than what Neshannock was a week ago? Because let's be honest, this Southside team's not going to throw the ball much. They'll take their chances with play action, but it all comes down to the run game. If you stop the run game, you pretty much have them neutralized. What does Laurel have to do tonight?
Laurel defensively has to fight up front. Your front line has to make contact and control that line of scrimmage, and your linebackers have to fill that void and be able to fill those holes and challenge runners that get through and really gain tackle. I really think that's going to be really important. It's going to take multiple players on each tackle. You got to follow the ball. You got to be able to make the plays. You can't get in a situation where you're going to get a 2-3 yard gap where they can run through it and get into the secondary, because that's what they do all season long. That's what they've been able to do, is to get those 7, 8, 10-yard runs. And, those are demoralizing to a defense. So that's one thing they have to do. They're going to, like I said, I even expect maybe the safeties to come up to help with the tackling and that, and force them to see if they challenge them, to see if they'll throw the ball at all. Because they're going to throw 3, 4, maybe 5 times tonight. And if you bring up the safeties, you may tempt them to try to do something they're not really confident in doing each and every game more than 4 or 5 times.
That Laurel defensive front, and we'll talk about them when we give you our lineups here a little bit later on. 87 tackles between them, 25 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. The defense over the last 2 games for the Spartans, 22 tackles for loss, and if you extend that to the last 3 games, 28 tackles for loss. So they've been very active, and they'll be a big focal point for this win tonight. And oh, by the way, you throw in there, too, that this Laurel defense has come up with 9 interceptions over the last 4 games. Spartans are about to take the field here, and we're going to get closer here to kickoff as we are about 9 minutes away, 10 minutes or so away from kickoff tonight here between Southside and Laurel. And the winner of this game, the inside track on the Big 7, the WPIAL Big 7. Single A has been great all season long. It's great coming down to the last 2 weeks of the season, and they'll do battle here tonight for that, at least a share of the Big 7 crown here tonight on the Lawrence County Sports Network. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you more on this game, our series notes, our starting lineups, and then kickoff here tonight between Laurel and Southside. It's all coming your way next on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Like in sports, it takes a great team to protect you, your family, and your business. MVP Insurance is that team. From home and auto to life and commercial insurance, you can count on us for coverage that adapts to your needs.
We're committed to excellence for our clients' experience and in serving our community.
It's a winning combination.
MVP Insurance. Don't get left on the sidelines. Log on to mvpins.com or call today to get your free quote.
Your hip, your knee, your shoulder, whatever has been holding you back, UPMC Orthopedic Care is where you'll find experts to help you get back to a better quality of life. UPMC is pioneering minimally invasive surgeries, and we offer personalized treatment plans and same-day surgery to get you home and moving sooner. It's your ankle, your elbow, your hand, and it's your move. Visit upmc.com/ortho to learn how UPMC can help.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
Laurel School District.
Back here at Laurel High School, Eric Thomas, Tim Continenza, as we inch our way closer to kickoff tonight in this big-time Big 7 matchup in single A football here between Southside and the Laurel Spartans. Let's take a look at our Axe series notes. Axe is here to get you there. Lawrence County's door-to-door transportation service is open to the public. Axe takes people to work, play, anywhere else they want to go. Call 724-652-5588 for more information. You see the numbers right there. Last meeting, last year, that was the big one down at Hookstown where Laurel went on the road and stunned Southside. That was a Southside team a year ago, a little bit younger than what they've been used to. And they were really just trying to find their way. They did make the playoffs, ultimately lost a close game to Bishop Canevin in the WPIAL tournament, but that was really the turning point for Laurel when people started taking this team seriously. And they went on, of course, to make it to the playoffs. Lost their last 2 games, but the rally that team had, that was really what bookmarked that end of the season run for Laurel a season ago. And if you look at Southside and what they've done over the last couple of years, their run so far has been tremendous under Luke Travelpiece. He's an excellent coach. They're 17-2 on the road since 2022, including the playoffs. The 2 losses are against Western Beaver earlier this year and to this Laurel team almost 3 years ago to the day on October 14th. So it's been an absolute dominating performance by this Southside team when they come on the road. And here they are tonight, site of the crime a couple of years ago.
Really a mark of a great program is be able to get on a bus, travel, and play good football, and play your best football, and win games on the road. I mean, you do that, it changes the entire atmosphere. It changes just the look of a program, and that's what Southside has done the last 3-4 years. Going on the road and being so successful, it's really an amazing achievement. And that's why I said it's really important for Laurel to understand that and defend their home field here tonight.
Honoring some first responders here tonight from the surrounding townships. You saw Lucas Santini just a moment ago. Let's talk about our Knicks Auto Body impact players tonight. There is a look at the Big 7 standings, and we talked about how close these 2 teams are. And then there's the Shannock just on the outside of things, just waiting to get that forfeit win over Rochester from earlier in the year to get them to 3-1. And that's going to be, that could be important somewhere down the line. You know, they get Laurel next week. If Laurel is still undefeated, they knock them off, and then they end up tied. They would have to get a tiebreaker, and then that forfeit win is going to loom huge potentially to decide this whole thing, but they have not yet been awarded that. They're still in a postponed state. We know that game's not going to be played, but they're just kind of hanging on and waiting to get that awarded to them to round out their record, and that's just going to make everything a little bit more jumbled and really is important going forward into next week's final game of the regular season. Our Knicks Auto Body impact players for the game tonight. Players you trust. Nobody does it better than Knicks Auto Body. Collision repair, paint and detailing, full service mechanical, interior cleaning. Making your car look good is new. Knicks Auto Body. Trust your body in our hands. Well, you saw him on the screen just a couple minutes ago warming up. Lucas Santini, talk a little bit about him, Tim, and what he has meant to this program, how far he's come the last couple of years. He's really become one of the best.
You know, he has just continued to develop. He's 54 of 93 this year, 885 yards, 15 touchdowns. Just the leadership that he brings, plus his ability to run the ball has been a big part of their success. And that's exactly what they learn. I mean, we've seen him incrementally each year get better and better. And this year we're seeing, you know, the best out of Lucas Santini and what he brings to this Spartans team.
24 of 38 his last 4 games. He has been on a tear throwing the football, and this team has been just as good as their quarterback play has been. For Southside, take your pick. I mean, they're going to run the ball so much tonight, but A.C. Corfield, who set the school's all-time rushing record a week ago against the Shannock in their win on the road, 3,169 career rushing yards after last year. Also a really good basketball player, 1,000-point scorer in basketball as well. He has been fantastic for this team over the last couple of years running the football, and he gets behind that big offensive line, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Weather tonight, 62 at kickoff. It is going to drop about 10 degrees before we're out of here tonight. And as you see the captains make their way out to the field, it is Williams, and that is Curtis Roy, who is in the hoodie there tonight. He is done for the season, unfortunately. He was injured late in the game last week against the Shannock. Right before Southside was trying to take the game into the Mercy Row, he tore his ACL. He is going to be done for the season. But one note for this Southside team that makes it a little bit more interesting for them going forward, their starting quarterback from a season ago, Dawson Frazier, out for the duration of the season. He was hurt in the opener in one of the first games against Western Beaver. He is actually cleared today. He is back in the lineup next week, and Luke Travelpiece is going to play both quarterbacks going forward starting next week with Frazier coming back into the fold for this team next week. So that's going to be interesting for this team as they hit the playoffs, as Laurel won the toss and deferred. So they'll be on defense first here tonight. And Southside will take the field on offense, and we'll see that power wing T rushing attack led and spearheaded by Corfield to get things going here tonight in what should be a good game here at Laurel High School.
It should be an excellent game on that level, and looking forward to seeing exactly that wing T doing its job and how it has been so effective in dominating for them over the years. And Cornfield, let's face it, he's a player to watch, a player to for this defense to key on here tonight and see if they can control them and control how that offense will be run.
Robert Yabokachi will be the official tonight, the head referee for this contest, and it will be Laurel to kick things off first. And back deep to receive for the Rams will be Will Morgan. And over on the far side, it is going to be Alex Schreier, the other return man for the Rams. And they will kick it away or receive here. Laurel's defense on the field first. Good maybe to get them on the field first and set a tone here tonight for this contest, because that defense is going to be on its heels against this wing T running attack by Southside.
Yeah, special teams are going to play a big part of tonight's game. Every opportunity when you're on special teams or defense to make a play will be huge. You don't want any team getting excellent field position to start a drive.
Tony Guyowitz will kick it away for Laurel. And as we mentioned, it's Schreier and Morgan back deep to receive. We're underway here from Laurel, and it's going to be on the near side, taken by one of the up men coming back towards the near side and tackled just over the 25-yard line. That is going to be Thorne Johnson who has the return. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Rams here tonight. That offensive line, Ryan Shaw, Jack Glenn, Lucian Williams, a four-year starter at center. Paul Pulcher was inserted in the starting lineup a week ago. Anthony Haig out for an undisclosed reason. And Cody Melmauer is the right tackle for the Rams tonight. Of course, we mentioned Todd Matejevich, the quarterback. He'll split time going forward next week, and then Will Morgan, Alex Schreier, Cole McCoy, and, of course, A.C. Corfield round out the starting unit. Matejevich will hand it off on first down, and crunch right away is going to be Morgan as he tries to feed his way through that line, and there's big Casey Wilson for the stop.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to see on defense. Let them penetrate there and make that defensive play, and that's exactly a great start there for the Spartans. -2 on that run.
That's going to be the first of many.
Big guy Casey Wilson. That defensive front for Laurel is huge, and they are really good and have been really good all season long. On second down, Matejevich will keep this time. He pitches to the far side, and there's another short gain to the right outside the 30-yard line.
Ball carrier, Amari Moman.
And that was Amari Moman who had the carry. And they'll switch these guys around all night long. Corfield, Moman,
Wilson,
Hudson,
72.
Johnson, everybody. Is Casey Wilson again the stop for Laurel that time.
Colton Carlson unknown to stop also. It's
third down. You got to get off on third down. If you're the Laurel defense, you don't want to give up big plays here on a 3rd down and 7.
First third down of the night for either side. Matejevich hands off. Corfield, no, he keeps to the outside. He gets it out there to Corfield, and Corfield is wrapped up and dropped as he gets near the 35-yard line. Carlson has the stop. That was a little swing pass out there to Corfield, and he's going to be about 2 yards short. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
Yeah, great defense there for Laurel. Interesting to see if they actually do line up here and snap the ball here on 4th down.
They are going to go for it. It appears anyway, at least maybe at the start here. They will go. It's a pitch coming near side and getting pushed back towards the line of scrimmage. And an excellent stop for this Laurel defense. That was Corfield who got the pitch, and there was nowhere to go. And the early turnover on downs gives Laurel great starting field position. There's your El Cap instant replay. All the green shirts swarming in there for the stop. Colton Carlson once again leading the charge.
That change of possession is brought to you by Madura Bonner and Law. Make sure to protect your possessions at MaduraBonnerLaw.com.
So Santini and company will take over. We'll look at the Laurel offense here. The starters for you tonight. Of course, Santini. Nathan Hill's been pretty good, the touchdown maker for this Laurel offense. Doesn't have the yards, but he has had a really good year at scoring the football in his return from an ACL injury a season ago. And that big offensive front, all 5 starters from a season ago, still back and still going strong here this season. Play number 1 is to Hill, right up the gut. And Hill is twisted around and dropped. Moment had hands on him. But it's a good run on first down. Pickup of about 5 or 6 to get things going for Laurel.
Yeah, he'll just fall in his blockers, get into that secondary a little bit, pick up big yardage on first down.
Southside defense, you take a look at them. Secondary is pretty good, but again, it's the line. And those 2 linebackers, Moment and McCoy, are really good in the middle, so they'll be active tonight. Handoff to Hill on second down. Sidesteps one defender, fights his way down, a little further down to the 25-yard line. And a good run again by Hill, and that should be enough for a Laurel first down.
Yeah, should, and what a nice thing. He made, after the initial hit here, he was able to shake it off and move forward to pick up about an extra 2-3 yards in the process and get that first down. So big first down to start this drive for Laurel.
They're going to move the sticks here.
They're going to, yeah,
they are going to move them. So
there's the first down indicator.
Officially a first down. Santini checks back in. He was going towards the sideline for the play there, but they get right behind this big offensive line. This offense for Laurel has run for at least 132 yards in 7 of the 8 games this season. And it's a direct snap to Carlson this time. Left side, he is upended. Got right to that line of scrimmage and got tripped up. Paul Polcher had hands on him as he hit the line, trying to leap over everybody. It's going to bring up second down. It's a 3-yard gain for Carlson.
A nice play there by Carlson, just leaping at the line of scrimmage to get that couple extra yards. And picks up 4 on the play.
Second down and 6. Carlson will be in the slot this time. There's a good look at him. Talented, multi-threat offensive weapon for this Laurel Spartans offense. Hill the handoff. Hill, good run on second down. He's inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for a gain of 5 once again. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Amari Moman once again the stop for Southside. That's Hill's 3rd carry. He's got 5 a carry here on 3 carries tonight.
Great start here for the Spartans, and they started this drive at the 35-yard line of Southside. They got to cash in when opportunities on a short field.
3rd down and 1 for Laurel. Carlson under center this time. They're going to fake the high snap, and Carlson goes right behind his center, Kevin Mahoney, and he's going to pick up the first down. He's still going all the way down towards the 5, and he stopped at the 6-yard line. Great disguise of that play.
Kind of the old Kansas City Chiefs do this a lot, and all of a sudden right up the gut, and he just kept his leg turning and slipped a tackle in his secondary and got all the way up to the 6-yard line.
7-yard line.
So 14 yards on 2 carries, 11 that time. Second first down for the Spartans here, and a great job by Santini to sell that. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Spartans at the 7-yard line. They're in the red zone. Make sure you stop by the red zone on Wilmington Road to check out all the local county sporting apparel. And this time it is a high snap. Santini is going to go down all the way back near the 25. Corfield had pursuit. That one over his head. And Laurel is going to be backed up. It'll be 2nd and goal from all the way back and around the 24-yard line.
So he'll lose 17 on the play.
Back behind the sticks. 2nd and goal now, all the way back at the 24. Trying to get an early touchdown here after that turnover on downs forced by the Laurel defense. Got to make it stand up here on your home turf. Snap to Santini. The senior looks. He has time. He's going to air it out far side, wide open, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That is Josh Sherman, who couldn't hang on to it, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, Sherman was wide open. He just went in between, and it was a perfect pass there. Unfortunately, he let it hit his shoulder pads, and in the process bounced away. Didn't try to catch it with his hands, and that caused that incompletion.
We're looking at about a 41-yard attempt here if they don't pick up this 3rd down. Guyewitz has a field goal from 39 this season. Maya Jarrett has not attempted one. Santini on 3rd down with time again, going to air it out over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Right at the goal line, trying to feed it to Hamilla, and there's Corfield once again, who steps in front of it and knocks it down.
kind of in that no man's land here. I imagine they'll go for it here. I'm not sure they'll try a kick this far. They're going to try a kick this far. Take that back.
Yeah, Geiwitz will be on to attempt the field goal.
It'll be a 40-yarder.
Yep, Carlson will hold. Again, this is Geiwitz's second longest, or this will be his longest attempt this season. He did hit one from 39 earlier in the year against Mohawk. Good snap. Carlson puts it down. Geiwitz. Did he get it there? Yes, he did. Tony Geiwitz from 40 yards out with 6:09 to go in the first quarter. And Laurel does get that point on the board, or those points on the board by Tony Geiwitz's foot. Does it again. 40 yards. Laurel takes the early 3-0 lead here on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, and Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance, and receive the personalized service you deserve.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
Tony Geiwitz, a 40-yard field goal, gives Laurel the early 3-0 lead as Southside will take over for the second time tonight as Morgan gets the return up to the 30-yard line. Good return by Morgan. Joseph's Marketplace drive summary, 7 plays, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. And the Laurel offense makes that stand by the defense hold up as they do get 3 points out of that. Joseph's Marketplace. Make sure you check out the specials daily at the Cafe and Bakery. Follow them on Facebook to see what's cooking today. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915. So here's Matejevich in this Southside offense. It's actually Will Morgan who's going to be under center. Morgan is going to fake and keep. He's going to get wrapped up by Tyler Fuchs almost right away. It's going to be a short gain of about 1. Will Morgan was a quarterback at the junior high level and into the varsity level as well, but they decided that they would go a different direction at quarterback, and he needed to be a weapon elsewhere. A gain of 3 that time for Morgan, his first official carry of the night. Second down and 7 for this Southside offense. Again, the wing T, Matejevich will hand it off. And again, there is just nothing. You're seeing a lot different defense this week against Southside than you were a week ago. That's Corfield who had the carry, but this Laurel defense is just above and beyond any other in the county right now.
And against an offense like this, you really got to know your assignments and stay with your assignments through the entire play. It's so vitally important to know what your responsibilities are and continue to play through it till the whistle.
They're down at 6 for Southside. Matejevich under center. Inside handoff once again. Now they get reversed. Moment on the far side. Moment down the sideline. Moment trying to outrun the defense, and he's going to get trickled and chased out of bounds on the far side. But a big first down gain for Southside. Here's a look at it on the LCAP instant replay.
Yeah, that is just one of those where you have everybody going to the left, and he's going right, and he gets out to the edge, and nobody's there following him, and he was able to take it all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Big gain that time to the 34 of Laurel and a first down as Southside comes right back knocking on the door. A 33-yard gain for Moman. And they can hurt you in so many ways with how many guys run the ball. Here's Corfield again on the pitch. Corfield inside, banging between the interior lineman. Good run on first down to get down to the 30. It's going to be a gain of 3 that time. Casey Wilson was in on the stop for Laurel.
That's going to be a 4-yard gain, second down, 6.
Seeing Southside's offensive line really start to assert itself here on this drive. It's going to be Morgan again who's going to be under center. Matejevich is not even out there on the play. They line up in the wing, Moment on the near side. Morgan right up the gut, and Carlson is going to hit him high. And he is going to get it down to the 25, and that's going to be good enough for a gain of 4, but it's going to bring up third down and short.
Colton Carlson, Jack Miles, and Kevin Mahoney also in there on the tackle. Third down,
Look at our
2.
cheerleaders. They're all decked out in the pink and green tonight. Good support of breast cancer awareness here tonight at Laurel. A table set up right near the main entrance with all kinds of goodies and apparel on it. And again, this is going to be Morgan. He's going to keep, and he's going to have enough for the Southside first down as they gang up on him on the 3rd and short run.
Yeah, Morgan's done a nice job just kind of using the misdirection of that wing tee and then following his blockers, picking up easy yardage here. And you look at that gap right there, and he's able to just sneak through and pick up those extra yardage.
Southside, the ball's on the Spartans' 22-yard line.
22-yard line for the Spartans, so they needed just a couple, and Morgan was able to get him 3 more. So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for Southside. Trying to answer that Laurel field goal. It's Matejevich back in there at quarterback. Motion by Moman. Hand off Corfield right up the middle. And Corfield a nice run again on first down for this Southside power rushing attack. And that should be enough for another first down on a gain of 11.
Mari Moman, number 2, is the ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what this offense can do, because you got to follow everybody's direction, and then when the ball gets handed off going right up the gut, everybody's leaves the middle of the field, and he's able to get into secondary.
Just outside the 10-yard line, so Southside can get to the 1 for a first down. They're not thinking first down, though. We get a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout, a Pontius Insurance timeout called by Laurel. First one given here tonight by the Spartans. Make sure you check out the best rates for home auto life at pontiusinsurance.com. Busy night again across the county. We'll keep you updated on all the scores on the bottom line. There's our keys to the game tonight, brought to you by LGKG. Win at the line is huge for Laurel here tonight, and they did early on in this quarter, but now Southside is really starting to show its teeth up front on this offensive line.
Yeah, amazing what you can learn in just a few plays and how to attack a defense, and that's exactly what they did. They went 4 and out in their first down, turning the ball over at their own 35, but they had that big 33-yard run that really set up this drive on that misdirection where everybody was going left, and that handoff went right, and they were able to get to the edge and make a big run, and now they're just kind of pounding the ball, challenging this defense to make a play.
Mentioning execute in the air, if you watched the game last week with Neshannock, there were times where Southside had opportunities to go down the field. In fact, they missed a big play that would have been a sure touchdown in that first half on a beautiful play-action pass as Matejevich actually threw to a guy covered instead of the one wide open down the middle of the field. So they go to Corfield again. Nope, Matejevich kept to the outside. That's actually Morgan who gets it to the outside. And he is shoved out of bounds on the far side by Colton Carlson once again.
Yeah, using Morgan as the quarterback and as an exclusive runner has been a big part of this drive.
Put Morgan out of bounds. The game is 5 seconds and 5. The ball's at
take it down to the 5-yard line, just outside the 5-yard line, right around the 6. And again, Southside can get to the 1 for a first and goal opportunity here as we come up on 2:20 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Laurel. Tony Guywitt's a 40-yard field goal. That's our only score so far. Morgan and company trying to change that. He will hand it off up the gut. Corfield, they're just pushing him in, and they get him all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run by A.C. Corfield. And with just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, Southside responds. Excellent drive by the Rams, doing what they do best. Claudia Pavlovic will attempt the point after try. Excellent soccer player for Southside's girls team, and point after try is up, and it is through. So our new score with 2:14 to go in the first quarter. Southside comes right back down the field to take a 7-3 lead on the legs of AC Corfield. You're watching high school football coverage on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Looking for quality concrete services? Contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
Congratulations to our September LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Mohawk Boys Cross Country as the LCAP Team of the Month after winning their second consecutive undefeated section championship. Congratulations to coaches Jared Stratton and Cam Shermer and the Mohawk Boys Cross Country team, the LCAP Team of the Month.
AC Corfield's touchdown run has given Southside the 7-3 lead. That is his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. Joseph's Marketplace Drive summary: 7 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Check out the cafe and bakery section at their Shenley Square Plaza location or the Grove City Outlets, as we're getting the return here, and it's going to be Faulkner who is upended short of the 35-yard line. So the Parada Jones touchdown by Corfield. 7-3 Southside. And now a big moment here coming up for this Laurel offense. Can they answer the touchdown of Southside?
Yeah, and that's really an interesting question right now, because you had a good drive that stalled. Unfortunately, you had to take that huge sack after that mishandled snap over the head of Santini. Really dissolved that drive, but you got points out of it. Let's see if they can continue to move the ball against this defense.
And off on play number 1 is going to be to Carlson, and he's going to stretch his way across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Going Johnson 14 along with Cole McCoy.
Cole McCoy had to stop that time for Southside. It's a 5-yard gain for Carlson.
So far, the running game for Laurel has been very effective. They're getting 5, 4, even 11 yards on a carry so far. So they need to continue to use that rushing game and set up that passing for Santini. As we've seen him, he can see the field and make some plays.
Almost picked on the last drive. Hand off to Hill. He gets a good head of steam, and Johnson and company will converge for the stop that time, but a good run by Hill. Looks good early on as Brooks Mizik teams up with his partner to make the tackle.
Yeah,
First down for Laurel.
Nice run there for Laurel as they were able to convert that first down run on an 8-yard carry there by Hill.
He's looked good early on. 4 carries, 23 yards for Hill. And he's got the touchdowns this year, but not the gaudy numbers. It's Carlson the carry. Carlson spun around. Carlson trying to get out of the arm tackle, and it's going to take 4 Rams defenders to bring him down. Good run by Carlson into Southside territory to the Rams' 45-yard line. So we get under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Will Morgan, number 12, and several other Rams on the stop. Second down, 1.
43-yard line, so good gain that time of 9 for Carlson. He's looked good early on too. Go back to him on 2nd and short, and he's going to have the first down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. And there's big Lucian Williams who comes in there for the stop.
Johnson, number 14, and Cole McCoy, number 4.
That might, and it will, do it for the first quarter.
Southside 39-yard line.
So good start to this one here at Laurel as Tony Guyowitz opens the scoring. And AC Corfield continues it as we've hit zeros on the board. 12 minutes in the books. 4-point lead for Southside here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Your score at the end.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily. Follow Joseph's Marketplace on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates or stop in to see what's cooking each day. Come hang out at the brand new cafe and bakery, full of great coffee, drinks, sandwiches, snacks, sweets, and free Wi-Fi. In a rush? Go to josephsnc.com and place your cafe order online. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Second quarter about to get underway here at Laurel High School. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you here tonight. 7-3 Southside in front of Laurel in this matchup of undefeated Big 7 teams, both 4-0 in the conference and 7-1 overall. It is Laurel ball to begin the second quarter, and they do have a first down, a fresh set of downs here to open things up in the second 12 minutes. As Santini and company trying to answer that touchdown by A.C. Corfield a couple of minutes ago. Back to the ground, and Carlson, rather that is going to be Miles who gets to carry that time. He's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Again, a gain of 5. And even though Santini had the loss of 17 on that one, the first drive, Laurel's still averaging almost 5 yards a carry here in this first half. That's good numbers for them. That's good news.
That's exactly what they want to be able to do. They want to be able to control that line of scrimmage and continue to challenge this defense. Only gives up 10.5 points per ball game.
Carlson, great move to get around the defender, and he's inside the 30 this time, down to the 27-yard line. So again, another 4-yard pop that time for Laurel, and he's going to have, should anyway, enough. They've not moved the sticks yet, and they will now. So he got 5 on the carry. So again, 5 yards for this Laurel offense.
That's the third first down of this drive for this Spartans offense.
5th overall here in the first half as Santini under center. Hand off Miles, cuts back. Miles trying to go upfield, and he's going to get crunched right into the arms of Williams, and it was Melmauer who get in there for the stop. Short gain by Miles that time, down to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, just nowhere to go there. He tried to cut back, but just right into the hands of that defense from Southside.
He loses a second and 11.
It's actually going to go in the books as a loss of 1. So it's second down and 11 for Laurel. Santini looks to his right, throws that way, and it's just too wide that time again.
That's the third incomplete here for Santini.
Started 0 for 3 in this contest, trying to get that one to Jack Miles, and just a little too wide for him.
A little too hot on the outside, like you said, a little too wide. Could have laid it in there a little softer just for him to run underneath it, but unable to achieve that. And it brings up a third down and long. First time we've seen either team in a third down and long situation.
From here, it would be about 46 for Geiwitz.
That might be a little too far.
Might be just shy of his range. We'll see. Empty set for Santini on 3rd and long. Gonna air it out, looking for the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown, Colton Carlson. Ran right by the defense, and Santini laid it on a dime for his best offensive player, and Laurel goes back in front.
Amazing play there. Just left all alone. Watch him come down the sideline, gets behind the defensive back, and he's just making the catch at the goal line, falling into the end zone for the touchdown.
I had Jarrett to attempt the point after try. Good snap. Kick is down, and it is through. excellent response by this Laurel team. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Luca Santini to Colton Carlson. And with 10:26 to go in the first half, Laurel is back in front, 10-7 here on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Being the home team to playing at home. And at LGKG, we have been your home team for over 90 years.
We're more than just a law firm. We're your friends, your neighbors, an advocate when life takes an unexpected turn.
We're not just lawyers that practice law. We live in this community, just like you.
When you need us most, we're at our best.
Laurel teachers support all of our athletes
On and off the field.
Yeah, the 33 is what I had. So
back here at Laurel High School, Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you as Lucas Santini's touchdown pass to Colton Carlson has given the Spartans the lead right back at 10-7. Kickoff going to go into the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, beautiful 29-yard touchdown pass there, Santini to Carlson, and his first completion of the game. He missed his first three, but nicely done to get him back on the scoreboard and take this 3-point lead. Now it's going to be up to the defense here to try to fill that void that they did in that first series where they were able to control that offensive line and make some plays at the line of scrimmaging and put this Southside Rams in a difficult position on fourth down.
7 plays, 67 yards for Laurel in the Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. 1st and 10 for Southside as they now come back out on the field trying to answer the Laurel touchdown. So back and forth we've gone here early on. Pitch, Johnson running left side. Not much room there as the green shirts converge. Alex Medved and company are all there for the stop. Getting up last, though, and leading the charge was Tyler Fuchs once again. There's a look at the Laurel defense. We didn't get a chance to introduce them, but Fuchs, Mahoney, Wilson, and Medved up front have been fantastic. The secondary's been really good, too. Guyowitz has had a big year picking off passes, and this Laurel secondary has been excellent with 9 interceptions we mentioned in the last 4 games. It's officially a gain of 1. And shockingly enough, Southside will go back to the ground again. That carry to the 25.
The carry was Andrew Corfield.
AC Corfield once again.
It just smash mouth football is what they're playing. They're coming right at you. And Corfield picking up 4 on the play, bringing up a 3rd down and 5. Big time opportunity for this defense to see if they can keep them in a 3rd down or 4th down long situation, see if they can actually force them to punt.
Morgan under center once again, so they've rotated the quarterbacks. The handoff. No, he keeps to the outside. Good fake again by Morgan as he gets to the 35. And he's going to have enough for the Rams' 1st down, their 4th here tonight. And again, a good run by Morgan on what was a needed 3rd down. Tony Guyowitz had to stop.
That ball goes to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 Rams.
Yeah, nice pickup of 10 yards on the play on 3rd down. Getting that 1st down. That seems to be the really bread and butter there, as they've been able to use those misdirections and then use Morgan running the opposite way.
Matejevich will pitch it this time. They go reverse. Here comes Moman near side. And McVickers leads the way for the Spartans defense. Jackson McVicker. And that's going to be cut off for a short gain, maybe 1 that time for Moman. You know, it's interesting. We said it at the onset tonight about Southside going with the 2 quarterbacks next week. Dawson Frazier back in the lineup next week. We'll split time with Todd Matejevich. Tonight going with 2 quarterbacks. Maybe it eases Matejevich a little bit into the dual quarterback system a little bit more to get him comfortable with that going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting theory. I mean, obviously that's what they're doing. And I'll be honest, under this type of offense, you can use just about anybody who has the ability to take that snap in this situation.
They like Matejevich's arm, but Morgan's been running the ball well. He fakes now. He's going to drop back, air it out, looking deep. Got a man down there, and the catch is going to be pulled in, and we got flags everywhere for pass interference. As the Laurel secondary, aggressive that time, Corfield down the field, the intended receiver. And the pass interference penalty is going to set up Southside. There's the throw we just said about the arm.
Yeah, 30 yards right downfield. Can't do wrong there, going from 35 to the 35.
Corfield, who was the leading receiver on this team a season ago.
Pass is complete.
Leading receiver, leading rusher. My assumption here is that Southside will decline the penalty because of the catch. And they will. So it'll be 1st and 10, right around the 34-yard line of Laurel. Matejevich on 1st down. Hands off. Corfield working his way right side this time. And he's going to gain a nice chunk of real estate there of 5. Tackled by Casey Wilson.
Right back to the ground, trying to draw them in and throw over top. That's what they've done so far here tonight. And they've gotten that big run earlier on that misdirection. But that's what this offense can do. You got to follow the ball. You never know who has it, and that's the misdirection of this type of offense. If you run it well and Southside runs it excellent, you really, really have your linebackers got to follow the ball and who has it and run towards it.
Morgan under center again, going to get to the outside. Options out to the far side, dangerously to Corfield. And he's going to be spun around out of bounds over on the far sideline, close to a 1st down. See where they officially mark him.
They'll mark him about 2 yards short. I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Had to one-hand that catch.
Give him about 2 on the play, I think.
Here we go. It's going to bring up another 3rd down for this Southside offense and for this Laurel defense trying to get off the field with that 3-point lead. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Laurel High School as expected. Parking lot filled up pretty quickly for a big-time showdown here as they're going to go right up the middle with Morgan once again. Or was that Matej? That was Morgan again. Up the middle, and he's going to have the 1st down for Southside. Rams are 4 of 5 on 3rd downs here tonight.
Yeah, that's the way to keep moving those sticks, picking up those 1st downs.
That's going to be a 1st down Southside.
This will be the 9th play of this drive here, Eric, as they continue to just really challenge this Spartans defense.
In the red zone at the 23, Morgan fakes again. Morgan running again. Morgan ganged up on Casey Wilson and Tyler Fuchs once again.
That's
going to be a short gain that time for Morgan. Maybe give him 4. Got twisted there near the end. He's down to the 20-yard line, so yeah, about 3-4 yards that time for Morgan.
Yeah, they continue just to challenge this team to react to where the ball's going. And like I said, that's what you get out of this type of offense because you have the 2 backs line on each side, and the quarterback can really, use that to show a run to the right and move to the left or go right up the gut. And they've been doing a terrific job on those misdirections.
Matejevich this time, and he's going to get popped.
Handoff to Andrew Corfield.
Corfield, yes, it was. It's tough sometimes to see those fakes.
Jack Miles.
They turn away from us. Everybody's kind of bunched in there, but that was Corfield that had to carry that time. Still going to be shy the 1st down, so it's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Well, you got to figure this is 4-down territories, so defensively, you got to make a play here to keep them shy of the sticks and force that 4th down play. Try to protect that 3-point lead that you have and try to turn away this very potent offense from Southside.
A lot of hands on hips for the Laurel defense right now as they're getting worked by this Southside rushing attack. Again, the handoff, and again, it's going to be Corfield.
Ball carrier is Andrew Corfield.
Short gain there, maybe 2 yards on the carry, and it'll bring up a 4th down, about 4 coming up here for maybe 4th down and 3 in that range for Southside.
Yeah, not much in the way of kicking for them either. Maladia Pavlovich again, like Jarrett, has not attempted a field goal for him this season. She is 19 of 22 on point afters, but this might be a bit of an ask here. This would be about 33 yards if they attempted a field goal. So they are going to go for it here on 4th down. Once again, 4th down, and it's Morgan behind his 4-year starter at center, Lucian Williams. Morgan will keep. Morgan trying to get to the outside. Morgan fighting his way and then is shut off by Wilson. And it looks like the Laurel defense is held once again. Excellent job by Casey Wilson to come up with what might be the biggest play of the game so far.
That's the second time this defense looks to have held. They're going to bring out the chains.
It looks like the chains may come out.
Probably the right call here to get a measurement just to be sure, because this was close. This was very close.
See if we can get a good camera view on that stretching of the chains here.
Morgan had really the outside, but then he cut it back, and Casey Wilson was right there to meet him. Let's see. He is going to be short.
Look at that. It's going to be a yard short. Big defensive stand for this Laurel Spartans defense. That was a 12-play drive that ended inside the red zone, and now the defense takes over another Moderna Bonner Law change of possession courtesy of the Downs.
Second time in Laurel territory tonight as well. Southside went for it on 4th down on the first drive of the night, and they were turned away. They were turned away there. Plenty of time here for Laurel, up by 3, with 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Santini will go to the ground, and Carlson gets by 1. Carlson turns on the Jets. Colton Carlson trying to outrun Shire. Colton Carlson is going to be dragged down from behind.
That's going to be a horse collar.
Flags for the horse collar tackle as Carlson is all the way down to the 25 of Southside and tack on 15 more after the run. There's the end of the play right there, the horse collar tackle. That's a 61-yard run by Carlson. He's over 100 in the first half. And then you add on the penalty yardage at the end of it. And the referee couldn't even get the flag out fast enough. He fell to the ground trying to throw the flag.
But you know what? You got to give credit to making the play there, simply because if you don't make that play, he scores.
No choice. Schreier had no choice. But to try to reach out and grab him.
Penalty on the tackle. That
going to take the ball all the way down to the 11.
12-yard line.
So that's
first and 10, Spartans.
Big opportunity here for Laurel to try to extend this lead.
First accepted penalty of the night by either side. It's been a well-played game. Southside rejected that pass interference penalty on the pass to Corfield a little bit ago as they hand off to Hill. Hill spun around, keeping the legs working, and Nathan Hill is working hard tonight as he's inside the 5 and down to the 3 on a gain of 9.
Down inside the 5-yard line, it appears.
Close to another first down. They can get 1 more yard for a first down with 3:05 to go in the first half.
Tackle for Southside. Those fellows are all over the field on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
And just remind everybody, Laurel's in the red zone. Visit the red zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs.
Second down for the Spartans, up by 3. Santini and company. And off Carlson, right side. Colton Carlson gets out of a stretched arm, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run by the guy that got him down there. And with 2:39 to go in the first half, it's a 16-7 lead for the home side.
And that is a Parada Jones-McCree touchdown. Parada Jones-McCree's attorneys at law. Excellence is our guarantee. And there it was, the 3-yard run there by Carlson. And that was a quick drive here for Laurel.
By Jarrett for an important point after. Kick is away, and it is through. Carlson had the explosive run. Carlson had the touchdown, and his team's got a 17-7 lead late here in the first half. You're watching high school football coverage on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
At Medora Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medora, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossatelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at medorabonnerlaw.com for more information.
Your hip, your knee, your shoulder, whatever has been holding you back, UPMC Orthopedic Care is where you'll find experts to help you get back to a better quality of life. UPMC is pioneering minimally invasive surgeries, and we offer personalized treatment plans and same-day surgery.
Kickoff by Geiwitz is going to be fielded near the 5-yard line. A good return by Schreier, who got the personal foul penalty on that Carlson 61-yard run. This Laurel special teams unit flying down the field here. The Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. 3 plays, a minute, 5 seconds. And they went 86 yards in those 3 plays, 61 of them by way of Carlson. The final 3 yards by Carlson as well. That's your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Specials daily at the Cafe and Bakery. Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop, Joseph's Marketplace. So Southside not really apt at the comeback here in the explosive offense. They like to grind you out, and now they're going to have to start grinding out Laurel if they want to get back in this game down 10.
Well, if they have been able to move the balls and make some big plays in a couple different opportunities, it's going to be up to this defense to continue to make the big plays on fourth. Here comes a halfback pass.
Down the field looking for Schreier. He makes the catch in stride, and Geiwitz has to catch him from behind to save the touchdown, but Luke Travelpiece dials it up on first down with the halfback pass from Moman to Schreier.
The tackle was Tony Geiwitz, number 3. That ball goes very quickly.
44-yard pass.
At the 32-yard line. First down, Southside.
Somebody other than Corfield making a big play in the passing game. I'm going to hand it to Luke Travelpiece. He learned from the best in George Curry at Berwick. They go reverse, double reverse. Corfield couldn't hang on to it, and he's going to get swarmed back near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of those things what you do with the this wing offense. They're not afraid to hand the ball off multiple times. And that time, the second handoff was not able to be made as he tried to hand it off behind the runner, and that's probably exactly what he wanted to do, but just didn't secure it into his belly, and in the process, dropped the ball.
Loss of 4 on the play. It's second down and 14. Motion by Moman. They fumble it again. It's loose on the turf, and Will Morgan has to pounce on it. All kinds of exchange problems now for this Southside team on this drive.
You're going to be thinking about using some timeouts here if you're Southside. You're down under a minute 15 here to play in the quarter.
It's going to be a loss again of 2. Third down at 16 for Southside. 7th third down they've faced here in the first half. Matejevich going to put it in the air, looks. Matejevich airs it out, lobs it down the field, and diving for the interception attempt. On the far side was J.J. McBride, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Fourth down, 16, under 1 minute to go, first half.
They're going to go for it on fourth down, I would assume.
I can't imagine them not. Fourth down and long. This scenario, you would think maybe a tight end screen something off, something they haven't shown yet, but I think anything's in the possibility range here for Southside. Is how good they've been.
On fourth down for the third time tonight. Matevich under pressure. Casey Wilson forces the Bonner Law change of possession for the third time tonight as he drags him back down at the 45. And Laurel is in business with 49 seconds to go and just over half a field to go and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, this is a perfect scenario with that sack. Stops the clock on the turn of possession. They're 55 yards away from adding another touchdown. They can get on the back of Luca Santini, who's thrown 16 touchdown passes so far, including one here tonight. So we can see exactly what this passing game can do for Laurel here tonight.
And if they put 24 on the board in the first half against the second best team or the other best team in this conference, that's going to prove a lot of things to a lot of people for this Laurel team. They go reverse. Carlson, he's going to air it out. He throws it down the field. He's got McBride, and he overshoots him.
What a great call. What a fantastic call for Laurel. And it was open, and he laid it up there. He just had too much mustard on it. Watch how they had this completely set up as he was streaking across the lane and unable just to make the connection.
It's going to bring up second down. There is no roof on this stadium. It would have blown off anyway if they would have completed that for a touchdown. They tried something similar last year in Hookstown, if I recall. And that win on the road. Santini looking, going to air it out again. Got a man. It's Miles, makes the catch at the 30. And he is tough to bring down. That's actually Ethan Hamilla with 34 seconds to go. It's going to be a first down for the Spartans on the catch.
And
that's called by the Spartans.
Timeout. Taken with just under 35 seconds here. Pontius Insurance timeout.
Only the second completion tonight for Laurel, but it's a big one. So they get the timeout here with 34 seconds left. Ball at the 30-yard line. Remember, Guyewitz has already hit from 40 tonight. They got to be thinking 7 and not 3, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, they got to be thinking end zone here. I mean, you got to ride the back of your quarterback who's been so well this season, throwing the ball and really directing this offense. You got one timeout in your pocket, so you got a different play across the middle or something you want to do, maybe even a draw, something you may try to draw up that you would normally not do.
Santini with 34 seconds to go. And air it out again. Luca looking for the end zone. Luca's got a man down there and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver that time. That was Hamilla once again trying to reward him with the touchdown pass. It's going to bring up second down. Good throw, though, by Luca.
Ball falls incomplete. There's a flag.
Coverage that time by Will Morgan. And there is a flag down all the way back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually in the hands of holding area. We'll have to wait and see. It is going to be holding against the offense.
So that's actually going to be the first accepted penalty against Laurel tonight. Just 2 accepted penalties in the first half, and a very well-played first half in that regard. They went back and forth for a little bit early on, but then Laurel has seized control here in the latter stages of this second quarter. So it's going to end up being a first down and 20 now after the holding penalty. Santini, the gunslinger, going to air it out once again. It's a wobbly one, but Carlson is there. He makes the catch. Colton Carlson out of the tackle, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. 40-yard strike from Santini to Carlson, and the Laurel explosion continues. It's now 23-7.
Carlson just streaked down the left sideline and just jumped up at the 7-yard line, made the catch, and got the contact screeched off of him and then rolled into the end zone for the touchdown. Huge play here. That only took 30 seconds off the clock to score there.
17 unanswered in the second quarter by Laurel. Maya Jarrett to attempt the point after. And her try is through once again. Carlson has exploded. He did it to Southside a year ago. He's doing it to him here again tonight. Laurel leads at 24-7 on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
It's the Spartans 24.
Hey, Mom, do you need a ride to the store today?
Oh, no thanks, hon. I got it covered. Mike's taking me.
Okay, well, you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, right? I can take you to that.
No, I got it covered too. Mike's taking me.
Mike?
Yes, Mike's my Axe driver. Picks me up right at my door and even helps carry my groceries. It's so convenient to schedule and ride with Axe. Wish I would have called him sooner.
Okay, Mom. Sounds like you got it covered.
I have an apple pie ready to eat. How about you help me with that?
Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Neshannock's Maddie Arrow as the September Red Zone Female Athlete of the Month for finishing as section runner-up in girls tennis, the doubles champion in the section, and qualifying for states in doubles. LC SportsNet is also proud to honor Neshannock's Rocco Baiuti as the September Male Athlete of the Month for finishing third in the WPIAL Golf Championships and qualifying for states. Congratulations and best of luck to Neshannock's Rocco Baiuti and Maddie Arrow, the September Red Zone Athletes of the Month.
Kickoff by Geiwitz. It's going to angle towards the sideline. It was touched.
Kick close to the ground goes off the hands of Alex
Shire was the one down there. He's been in the news here a lot in this second quarter for Southside. They're up against it right now, though. 24-7 after that 40-yard touchdown pass. Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Yeah, it was a good one again. Carlson ends it after a 40-yard pass. 2 catches for 69 yards tonight, 7 carries for 101 for Carlson. We mentioned the big game he had last year in Hookstown, and he is just taking apart Southside once again. And a knee by Matejevich is going to bring the half to a close. Well, we thought it was going to be a close game, and Laurel said forget that. 17 unanswered by the Spartans in the second quarter, and they lead it at the half, 24-7. We'll listen in on the bands and get you the scores and stats from the first half here tonight. As Laurel looking to take control of the Big 7, they lead it by a count of 24-7 here on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rosatelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Like in sports, it takes a great team to protect you, your family, and your business. MVP Insurance is that team. From home and auto to life and commercial insurance, you can count on us for coverage that adapts to your needs.
We're committed to excellence for our clients' experience and in serving our community.
It's a winning combination.
MVP Insurance. Don't get left on the sidelines. Log on to mvpins.com or call today to get your free quote.
Calling all sports fans. Never miss a moment with real-time alerts, keeping you in the loop when your favorite teams are playing.
Get instant updates sent straight to your phone with game schedules, changes, and all the latest news.
You can receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for game time.
Be the first to cheer on your local teams and show your support.
Receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for the game.
Signing up is quick and easy. Don't miss out. Sign up now and stay connected to the action.
Plus, follow us on social media for live updates, behind-the-scenes content, and community news.
From the Southside Area High School Marching Band. Southside Area's 2025 program is entitled Into Thin Air, featuring music by Robert W. Smith. We are proud to present drum major Addison Cox from the Southside Area High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Southside Area High School Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Matt Deal with assistance from Cadence Polkey along with staff member Jace Madsen, auxiliary coaches Pam Beasy and Jen Petoskey. The Southside Band would like to thank the faculty, staff, and administration of the Southside Area School District for their continued support of music education. Band students from Southside consistently place well in the PMEA festivals, and the Southside Area School District has been named the best community for music education by the NAM Foundation in each of the past 4 years. Please join us in wishing the band good luck as they travel to Deer Lakes High School tomorrow to compete in their first ever PIMBA Championships. Thank you for your attention and support, and as always, go Rams!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am proud to introduce the 2025 Laurel Spartan Marching Band. Tonight we bring you the dynamic show, Colors of Rock, where each note paints a different shade, each song tells a different story, and each rhythm brings us closer to the soul of music. Our drum majors are Nora Johns and Macy Miller. Drum majors, is the band ready? Our first song is from Red Hot Chili Peppers, titled Higher Ground, which features the Spartan drum line. Spartan dance line is featured in this song titled Everybody Talks by Neon Trees, led by co-section leaders Madeline Doolittle and Natalie Rogers. Welcome to Paradise song by Green Day. This song features our Spartan color guard led by section leader Delady Brightshoe. Thank you for acknowledging the efforts of these dedicated young men and women. Our marching band is under the direction of Mr. Scott Boyer. The percussion instructor and assistant band director is Mr. Josh Johnson. Mr. Ian Herr is our assistant percussion instructor. Mr. Nate Grossman is the low brass instructor. Ms. Rachel Kroner is the woodwind instructor. Brass instructor.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
Halftime festivities winding down here at Laurel as the home side is in control of this game. this big-time matchup in the Big 7. 24-7, Laurel is in front of Southside, a game that highly anticipated, but not a lot of people saw that first half score at 24-7. Let's talk about how they got to that point in this contest. Part of our UPMC halftime show. Lawrence and Mercer County's local choice for advanced orthopedic care. To get you back on your feet faster, visit upmc.com to find a doctor near you. Well, our scoring recap here at the half, and it was Tony Geiwitz who got things going with a 40-yard field goal with 6:09 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Laurel at that point. That's a career long for Geiwitz. Betters his 39-yard field goal here earlier in the season against Mohawk. Southside then takes a 7-3 lead on AC Corfield's 5-yard touchdown run. Good drive by the Rams, 7 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. That happens about 4 minutes later. And then 17 unanswered points by the Spartans to close out the half. 2 touchdown passes by Lucas Santini. The first, a 29-yard strike to Colton Carlson. That was a 7-play, 67-yard drive in 4 minutes. Carlson has a 3-yard touchdown run, a 3-play, 65-second drive, and then Santini at the end of the half with 19 seconds left, a 40-yard bomb to Carlson to make it 24-7. And that is a look at your Creative Edge scoring recap. From concept to creation, they combine their extensive construction experience with creative design to make your project a reality. Fully licensed and insured architecture and construction management services. Call 724-652-1372 for more information. Let's take a look at the stats here tonight in the first half, and it was dominated by Laurel. Not a bad statistical night for Southside, but they have just gotten taken apart by this Laurel offense late in that second half, or that second quarter. You see the total yards there, 216 for Laurel, and they're doing most of it on the ground. Santini, percentage-wise, not great, but he's thrown for 94 yards and the 2 touchdowns along pass. Colton Carlson's been the guy, though. He has 101 of the 102 yards, and that 122 is a little jaded by the fact that a 17-yard loss by Santini early in the game. Otherwise, their running game, Tim Continente, has been fantastic, and that's really been the story of the first half.
It truly has, and then you look at what that offensive line has been able to do. They've been getting 4 or 5 yards on average on per carry, and then they had the big run of 61 yards that really set up one of the touchdowns. And then you look at what Santini did. I got him, 3 of 7, but those threes are 29 yards, 25 yards, and 40 yards, and 2 of them are touchdowns. So that tells you when he's connected, they've been huge plays for this offense. And then Hill has done a nice job, workman-like job. I got him with 32 yards in the first half, and then Carlson has been the big play player tonight with over 100 yards rushing in the first half, only on 8 carries. It's just been a fantastic performance in the first half, but it really sets up when we talked about it in the pregame about this offensive line being able to control this Southside defense and be able to penetrate them and make plays upfield, and they've been able to do that here tonight. And defensively, when you look at what Laurel has done, they've turned them away 3 times on 4th down. Just a phenomenal job for this defense, I should say. And each time, Laurel's offense basically has answered when they've gotten the turnover. So a huge first half here, and a lot of big plays, but a lot of earned big plays for Laurel.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard update brought to you by the Newcastle Transit Authority. Why ride when you drive when you can ride and relax? Daily routes to Pittsburgh as well as routes all around Lawrence County. Visit newcastletransit.org for more information and route schedules. Remember that senior citizens ride for free. In 4A in that Parkway Conference, the battle going on right now between the top 4 teams, Aliquippa, Newcastle, Montour, and West Allegheny. A couple of big matchups tonight. Newcastle leads Ambridge at the half 28-7, and Aliquippa leads Montour. That's just 7-0 at the half right now between the Quips and Spartans. That's basically an elimination game. The loser of that game probably is going to be out of the playoffs, which means Aliquippa could be looking at potentially being out if they lose that game here tonight. Elsewhere around the county, the teams that are playing tonight, Shenango is down 35-0 to Fort Cherry at the half. Elwood City has a 21-6 lead on Union. Wilmington 51-0 over Sharpsville at the half as well. And Mohawk leads Freedom. They need to win out and get some help. But Mohawk leads Freedom 10-0. There actually exists a world right now in which Mohawk could still win the Midwestern Conference, believe it or not, and they're doing their part to uphold that as they lead Freedom 10-0. Here, 24-7, Laurel is in front of Southside, and the Spartans will receive the ball to start the second half. What difference? What does Southside really have to do as you take a look at the standings here to put in perspective what's going on? And again, we stress that Neshannock still waiting to get that forfeit win over Rochester awarded to them. They are 3-1 essentially in the conference, so they are still in the mix because they get Laurel next week. If Laurel wins here tonight and Southside falls to 4-1, Neshannock wins, they go to 4-1, and Laurel stays undefeated, but Neshannock clips them next week. We would have a tie situation atop the conference, and Neshannock, which was just taken apart by this Southside team a week ago, would actually have a share of the crown. So a lot to still play for, and Neshannock will still get that forfeit win over Rochester coming up. But first things first, what does Southside have to do to get back in this game here in the second half?
I mean, Southside has to be who they are. That means that they have to run the ball, but they're going to use those plays that we've seen them so effective with the halfback pass, the able to draw in the defense and throw over top. They're going to need a big play. I don't care if it comes from a rushing play or a pass play. Some probably over 50 yards that's going to score a touchdown, and they're going to need multiple of them, and then their defense is going to have to step up and really try to control that offensive line that Laurel has really dominated here in the first half, being able to run the ball the way they have and protect Santini when he's in the pocket, giving him time to throw downfield. All his passes have been over 25 yards, and two of them have gone for touchdowns.
So it will be Southside to kick it away, and Laurel will be on offense to start things here in the second half. And we are underway from Laurel High School. It's going to be a pop-up kickoff that is recovered by J.J. McBride, and it's going to give the Spartans good starting field position here on the first drive of the second half. They are up 24-7. Pretty much controlled this game really from the second quarter on. And we will now see if the Spartans can continue to maintain that and pull away here and win what would be a massive game against Southside. For the second year in a row, they would potentially knock off the Rams here in a conference battle. As Santini will start 1st and 10. Got his complement of weapons out to begin the second half. Motion by Carlson, who was busy in the first half. There's the handoff to Hill, play number 1. And Hill is going to have a nice 4-yard gain to begin things. He had a good first half. 5 carries for 32 yards in the first half. It was up to 36. Good balance by the running game here. Carlson 101, Hill 36 now. And those two were really the bell cows for this team in the first half.
And they got to just continue to pound the ball and get that offensive line has really controlled this game. Continue to do what they were so effective in the first half.
Santini will hand off Carlson. Big head of steam. Carlson gets his way to the 45, and he's met there by a wall of white shirts. But he's going to have the first down
stopped by number 2
for
Bowman, but that's going to move
Laurel, and that's going to be a stop for Bowman, but it's also a first down for Laurel as we're not even a minute into this third quarter, and they've already moved the ball here up to the 45.
Yeah, exactly. That was just a quick hitter up the middle with Carlson, who was able to get the 6 yards, get that first down, and keep this clock moving for them. And that's going to be really the key here. If they can get long drives here and just kind of milk this clock away and make it even harder for Southside once they have the ball.
Already the leading passer in school history, Santini, now the touchdown passing leader for Laurel. We found that out at the half as Hill gets the carry once again. And Bowman along with McCoy are there for the stop. Good run again by Hill. It's going to be a short game, but a good head of steam. He got 3 on the play. And they keep the clock working, and they keep the offense churning here in this third quarter.
And that's the key right now is just keep moving upfield. You know, put yourself in position to make plays and really just try to make this Southside defense really react to what you're doing.
Second down for Laurel. Santini will fake, going to throw. Far side, catch made. It's Sherman, first down for Laurel. Sidesteps one defender, and he's all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Number 9, he hauls it in.
It's the first catch tonight for Josh Sherman, and the 4th completion for Lucas Santini.
And number 9, that's Brooks Mazaik. And 22 also Andrew
Corfield and Mizik are there for the stop for
they
Southside.
Certain to the ground, but the chains move. 1st and 10 Spartans ball on the
20-yard gain on that play, and another first down here for Laurel. Their second of this drive.
Sherman's first catch of the night, 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. Hand off to Carlson outside, and Carlson is upended as he tries to hit the corner by Thorne Johnson. And along with Moman as well. Short gain that time for Carlson.
And Amari Moman once again. Moman is everywhere this evening. 2nd down, 8.
You don't have to do anything fancy here. You're just going to continue to play Spartan football, and they've been really good at it. Again, let's see if they can get to the edge. A few times they've been able to turn it upfield. Let's see if they try to do that or they go back up the gut, which has been, again, successful because of this offensive line, the way they've handled the Rams' defense.
And off to Hill, running right side. He got popped as he tried to hit the corner. There's Thorne Johnson again. As he hits him right near the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, great defense stretching him out as Hill tried to pop out to get to the edge and couldn't get there and comes down. And I'll bring up a 3rd down and long, but we know if they give time to Santini, he'll find somebody. He's only made a couple passes that he probably wanted back today, but both of them went incomplete, where the Rams defense made a nice play on the ball.
Officiating crew tonight, Robert Jacobochi, Matt Stebbins, Dave Greer, Frank Vanderhove, Kevin Sapp, and Anthony Barone. As Santini back to throw, sidearms it wide open in the middle is Carlson, and Carlson's going to have the first down inside the 20.
Sidearm sling from
18-yard pickup.
Of course, it's Colton Carlson. That pass is complete.
Carlson's having himself one heck of a night, both catching and
Andrew Corfield
between the tackles, running the football.
Move its 1st and 10. The ball's on the Ram 18-yard line.
Nice pickup there for the Spartans as they continue to move the ball downfield. And Santini has it all day to throw the ball. They have not put any pressure on him at all.
They have not, as Hill will carry again. Hill trying to get out of the outstretched arms of Paul Polcher, but he can't go that much further. Going to be a short gain for Hill, but again, positive yards. Keep the ball moving down the field, up 24-7.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes off the clock on this drive, and that's kind of like going to be the 12th man when you have this big of a lead here in the 3rd quarter. You want to continue to see that clock just melt away against this Southside opponent.
Inside the red zone now is Laurel. Make sure you check out the red zone. Wilmington Road. Direct snap to Carlson. Carlson picking his way. Carlson looking for the end zone again. Carlson trying to get out of the outstretched arms. He dives, and he is just short of the goal line. As a touchdown-saving tackle on a last-ditch effort by Brooks Mizik. But it's going to be 1st and goal for Laurel on a 17-yard gain by Carlson.
Yeah, just a direct snap, and he just followed his blockers, went to the left side, got to the edge, and from that point on, it was just kind of a race. They drag him down inside the 5, and they're knocking on the door again, and we will be talking about the possibility of this maybe getting to a mercy clock in the 4th quarter.
Would have never thought that coming into this game tonight. Santini up under center. Santini going to dive 40 short. Now, Moman and company were there. That line made a good push there. Cody Melmauer also got good leverage that time. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, I like the call, actually, even though it didn't get it. You just keep it in the hands of your quarterback and let him make the play. Unfortunately, came up a little short, but they got the backs in Hill and Carlson. And it wouldn't surprise me if they used one of the others that we haven't really seen much of here. But Carlson in the backfield along with Hill.
Second and goal for Laurel. Snap, Santini, handoff, Hill right up the middle, and Nathan Hill is in the end zone for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run is 14th in his comeback campaign. It is 30-7, all Spartans here tonight. There's the LCAP instant replay. There's Hill just pushing his way through as Maya Jarrett comes out to attempt the point after. Over half the quarter gone. Down to 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Jarrett trying to stay perfect tonight. Good snap. Carlson puts it down, and Jarrett's point after try is good once again. Commanding drive and a commanding score for the home side Spartans right now as they lead it 31-7, and they are taking this show down by the throat. You're watching high school football coverage on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Your hip, your knee, your shoulder, whatever has been holding you back, UPMC Orthopedic Care is where you'll find experts to help you get back to a better quality of life. UPMC is pioneering minimally invasive surgeries, and we offer personalized treatment plans and same-day surgery to get you home and moving sooner. It's your ankle, your elbow, your hand, and it's your move. Visit upmc.com/ortho to learn how UPMC can help.
Guywitz's kick is fielded by Shire, and he is going to get leveled right near the 27-yard line, where Southside will put it in play. First and 10, down by 24 here in this contest. That Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. 8 plays, 65 yards, 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Capped by the Nathan Hill 1-yard touchdown run. Joseph's Marketplace, Shenley Square Plaza. Grab a drink or a snack at Jameson or the Grove City outlets, and also check them out on Facebook, Joseph's Marketplace. So here comes Southside. This offense has been dominant on the ground the last 3 seasons, and that is their bread and butter under Luke Treblepiece, but they're going to have to get it going in a hurry, and Corfield's got nowhere to get it going on the first snap of the second half as Mahoney and Wilson just obliterate this offensive line, throw them down for a loss.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Get into the backfield and prevent any momentum going forward and bring up a second down and 12 coming up here for this Rams offense. That's just deflating on first down when you can get into the backfield and disrupt a play like that. It's just a terrific defensive effort here by Laurel.
This is a rushing offense that's gone from 166 a game to 290 a game the last 2 seasons. Matejevich fakes, gonna throw it, pass is tipped up in the air and falls to the turf. Camilla, one of the Spartans in there, and that'll bring up third down.
Pass was blocked. That is Ethan Hamilla.
Boy, Hamilla's really had himself a strong campaign this year.
Third down 12.
Now, he's got 4 tackles for loss on defense, but his presence has been felt in a lot of these games. And he's a big reason why this secondary and linebacking core has been so strong for the Spartans this season. Going to be 3rd and long now for the Rams. At least for the moment, it looks like it's going to be Laurel's conference to lose next week. Matejevich slings it. Matejevich passes caught on the far side, and it's going to be enough for a first down. That's Schreier, and he's going to have 13 rather, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, nice pass there by Matejevich as he rolled out and looked back. You can see and made a nice toss for the easy reception there for the first down right on the sideline by the Rams bench.
First down, Matejevich slings it out of the backfield. Moman the catch, 45, and he's pushed towards the sideline by McVicker.
That is
bring up second down. It's going to be a 4 or 5 yard gain. There's that Spartans offense, the Rams defense once again, as this Rams offense has got to be the one that gets it in gear here. They're down one of their top targets in Curtis Roy, who's out for the season with a torn ACL.
They're really caught in a situation where they're going to do something they're not as comfortable doing, throwing the ball more times than 4 or 5 times in a game.
They go reverse once again. Corfield trying to find room, goes head on, and he's going to get across the 45 up towards the 48-yard line. Casey Wilson once again, and Colton Carlson there for the stop.
Tackle in the background.
Yeah, got to give Corfield a lot of credit there. Got hit in the backfield, kept his feet, moved forward, got hit again, and then was able to advance it maybe for about a 9-yard gain.
Third down to 1.
Corfield turning it upfield on our LCAP instant replay. It's been a slow night for him, only 38 yards rushing though for Corfield. As they'll go right up the middle, and there's that play right behind Lucian Williams again.
Keeper. It looks like the pile moves
Morgan,
the first down marker.
Doing what they brought him in to do tonight, and that's going to be a first down for
Jack
Southside.
Miles and Kevin Mahoney were in on the tackle, along with several other Spartans. I'm certain of that.
And the clock continues to melt away. We're under 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the third.
Matejevich back in there at quarterback, going to throw it again, dumps it off. Moman has to backpedal to catch it. And he is going to be up across the 45 or down across the 45 to the 42 of Laurel.
They'll pick up 8 on that.
There, of course, making another tackle. Jackson McVicker also stays home to help
Jackson
out.
McVicker the stop that time.
Gain is 8, second down 2. Clock runs. We're approaching the
This is the problem that you get into when you're a wing T offense. I mean, you're used to playing from ahead.
Yeah, you have to get big plays. I mean, that's the hardest part when you're a ground-out offense. You need a big play to score quickly.
Morgan is under center once again. And we got movement everywhere.
And that's the first time we're going to see a pre-snap penalty here.
It's been a very well-played game in terms of penalties here tonight. Not a lot either way. This one is going to go against Southside.
Moving on the offense.
They're second for 20 yards.
A 5-yard step off. It remains second down. It will be
Luke Trevelpiece,
7.
You know, he played for George Curry at Berwick, graduated in the early 2000s, went to Geneva, broke his jaw his freshman year, and then just gave up football. And he said, I was meant to coach. So he was able to jump into coaching earlier. And he has built himself a powerhouse. But the Spartans, as Morgan's going to fling it incomplete far side. His first pass attempt of the night. This has been all Laurel here tonight.
Third down 7. Clock stops. 2:39 remains. Third quarter.
This is, you know, obviously it's 4-down territory here for the Rams. This is third down and long. But, you know, they're doing something they're not used to doing. They're throwing the ball. I got them throwing the ball. You know, this will be the 7th or 8th. I got 8 pass attempts, I think, by this offense here tonight because they had 2 not by a non-quarterback.
Southside got close to a WPIAL title a couple years ago. They ran into Fort Cherry, the first of their
There's a draw.
handful, and there is a handoff to Morgan on third down, and that is going to be a short gain. Bring up fourth down.
Yeah, I mean, this is what this offense is designed to do, is try to catch you off guard. This was just that delayed draw, the kind of wraparound that you've seen in the past that was really effective, and that time the defense for Laurel was right there to stop it. So 4th down and 7 coming up here.
Going to go for it again. They've gone for it now. This will be the 4th time on 4th down. And all 3 previous times they've turned it over on downs to Laurel. Matejevich under center. He's going to roll out, sets, pressure, pocket breaking down, and Tyler Fuchs is going to bring him down back across the 45. For the big loss, it's a Bonner Law change in possession. The fourth time tonight, Laurel has forced a turnover on downs against Southside, and they're going to get it in plus territory again.
Ram territory at the 44-yard line. First and 10, Spartans.
Now, minute 48 remaining here in the third quarter, and it has been all Spartans here tonight as they continue to do well. This time they'll have again another short field inside Ram territory, taken over at the 44-yard line.
Late this third quarter, up 31-7. I think if there were any questions, they go to Hill. Hill, good run on first down inside the 40, taken down there by Mizik.
Hill rips off yardage inside the 40 to about
the 37-yard line for Hill, 7-yard gain for him. I think if there were any questions about Laurel, and they played Bishop Canevin, we know that. Arguably their two toughest games of the year this week and next week. I think those questions have been answered in full tonight, and it is their title to lose next week against Neshannock right back here at Laurel High School. Fake, Santini, got room, Luca, big high step, took too big of a high step. He's going to have the first down, but he falls down inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. But it'll be a first down for the Spartans as they continue to push it down the field.
Yeah, watch Santini take this and just run that perfect option and just cuts right down the middle and picks up about 8-9 yards in the process.
First and 10 Spartans inside 1 minute in the third quarter.
This third quarter is going to tick away here. Laurel has had the ball for about 85 to 90% of the quarter. Carlson trying to stretch it to the outside. Again, steps over one guy, but is tripped up. Right back near the line of scrimmage for no gain that time.
By Andrew Corfield.
AC Corfield has the tackle for Southside. 11 carries for $126 tonight for Carlson. 3 catches, 87 yards.
Impressive outing here for Carlson.
The final play of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
That will, in fact, be the final play of the third quarter. The only touchdown on the board in the third frame was a Nathan Hill 1-yard run. Laurel has a 31-7 advantage over Southside. Fourth quarter up next on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Tonight, someone is cold, hungry, and forgotten. At City Rescue Mission, we're more than a shelter. We're a bright beacon of light in our community, serving those in need to make our community stronger and healthier. We offer real help and real hope, and that hope is Jesus. We serve him by serving others in love, grace, mercy, and compassion. But we can't do it without you. Be the reason someone's story is rewritten in Christ. Give today at cityrescuemission.org.
That's a good haul for a Friday night.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Laurel High School as the Spartans have a 31-7 lead on Southside. Eric Thomas, Tim Continenza with you tonight. Big thanks to our Lawrence County Sports Network staff here, spearheaded by James Dotson, producing tonight's game, directing tonight's game.
We'll call that number again.
Tell you about next week here in a moment. It's going to be a second down for Laurel to start the quarter. Slant pattern, falls short, intended for Miles over the middle. So here's what we're going to do next Friday night. It's obviously win the Big Seven and probably get a high seed in the tournament for Laurel next week right here. So we will be here for Laurel and Neshannock next Friday night to close out the regular season. If Mohawk hangs on to win, we will send a crew over to Riverside because from Mohawk's standpoint, that might be a win and get in, which is hard to believe. That team is in a position to get in the tournament after the season, the up and down season they've had.
Empty backfield here.
They've taken advantage of the schedule here at the end of the season, and Mohawk's in a good shape here. Santini going to fire, catch hit it out of the hands of Sherman.
Just to remind everybody, after the game during the Tri-County Principal Postgame Show, we'll have the Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award and also the MVP Insurance MVP of the Game Awards coming your way. So you want to stay tuned for that and make sure you find out who we honor here tonight at this Laurel Southside game.
We just told Bob that he's no longer needed. She has all the money now.
You might as well go for it here if you're Laurel. They will up 31-7. No man's land as far as a field goal try would be. It would be about 43 yards for Guyewitz. There's really no point in attempting that. Santini on 4th down. First time tonight they go for it. Luca going to lob it down the middle. It's caught. It was tipped out of the hands of Morgan, who thought he had the interception. And Santini's got another one to add to his record-setting total, this time from 26 yards out to Jack Miles.
Amazing. When things are going your way, they just continue to fall. Look at this. Back to pass. Nobody there. I mean, gets tipped and right into the hands of Jack Miles for the touchdown. Again, no pressure put on Santini in that pocket. Give a lot of credit to this offensive line from Laurel. Continue to just protect Luca Santini all night long.
Maya Jarrett's point after try is up, and it is good. The third touchdown pass of the night for Luca Santini. And Laurel extends out to a 38-7 beatdown of Southside here tonight on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Hey, Eric Thomas, we're going to keep it here for 1 second because we have a special presentation. A tradition here during halftime and third quarter is our chassis toss. Tim, you're not going to do the honors because the chassis toss was won by Miss Lori Heights. Can you believe that? So, in honor of the chassis toss, do it. Absolutely. Go for it. Perfect. Specialty cookies by Lori Heights. Big thanks. They sponsor our chassis toss every year here, and she said she's going to help donate to the scholarship cause and to donate back to everybody going on. Big thanks, Lori, for everything that you do for us.
So Lucas Santini's touchdown pass to Jack Miles, 38-7. Santini tonight 158 yards passing for Miles. That's his first catch of the night.
6 plays, 2 minutes and 28 seconds on that drive.
And they just continue to pile it up here. Schreier has the return once again, and he is taken down right around the 25-yard line where Southside will start 1st and 10.
Yeah, you got to figure this is just a deflated Rams team at this stage in the game. Early in the fourth quarter, trailing by 31. I don't think anyone expected. As you mentioned in the pregame, Eric, this is a team that travels well. They were 17-2 in travel pieces career as a head coach here. I mean, that's just a phenomenal number. And trailing this game by this number is quite shocking.
17-2 since 2022 on the road. So that's and the 2 losses this season to Western Beaver, and the only other one was back to Laurel here almost 3 years ago to the night, October 14th in 2022. They're going to lose to the Spartans for a second time here, but Luke Travelpiece, a lot of respect for what he's done for this Southside team.
11 minutes to play.
And he has really learned a lot from his mentor, George Curry. And
there's no question. The success and the continued building of a program, he has done a terrific job here for the Rams and will continue to do that for years to come.
Matejevich's pass is incomplete. Speaking of Berwick, by the way, how about the Dogs in District 2 are 8-0 this season. CJ Curry, George Curry's grandson, now the head coach of the Dogs, and tonight they were taking on a 1-7 Selinsgrove team, so I'm going to assume that they probably rolled tonight as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to inform you that all of the 50-50 money
had an opportunity to talk to Luke before kickoff tonight, ask him what he thought about his alma mater, Berwick, doing what they're doing. And he said he hadn't really looked at the schedule beyond week 4 or 5, so he was really excited to see that they were off and running once again and turned back into a powerhouse thanks to that Curry legacy that carries on with C.J. Curry as the quarterback, or as the head coach, as Corfield gets the carry that time for Southside.
Carlson and Jack Miles.
Carlson the tackle, but that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Combined for the tackle. 4th down, 4.
Been an impressive outing here for this defense for Laurel. Only giving up 9.2 points per ball game this season, holding this Southside to only 1 score here in the 4th quarter at this stage of the game.
Handoff on 4th down. It's Morgan trying to extend.
He might be just short, and I think he just got it.
Yeah, that last
effort, I think, just got it over the line on 4th down.
Yeah, they have not run the ball bad tonight. Corfield's number is a little pedestrian, 14 carries for 44 yards, but Morgan has 40 yards. Moman has 39. So, I mean, they've been able to move the ball running it, but, you know.
They've just run out of steam a couple times and turned over the ball on downs.
Deep in Laurel territory, too. So they were driving on a couple of those and were unable to finish the drive. 1st down for Southside. Matejevich looking, pressure. Matejevich is going to go down in a heap. Back behind the line of scrimmage. Great job pursuit that time. Dom Willis, the junior, flies in there for the sack, and this defense continues to pile up the numbers.
Just huge loss there. 15 yards on that. Make it 16 yards on that loss.
2nd down, 23.
2nd and 23 for this Southside offense. Not built for 23-yard gains on 2nd and long. They keep plugging away, though, and playing hard as Matejevich will roll out. A sidearm in, almost intercepted. It's tipped into the hands of Corfield. And Corfield almost back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to get to about the 35. And he got twisted around and is a little hobbled getting up after the play.
Corfield. That was tipped by Jackson.
That was Jackson McVicker who got his hands on it. So we've seen the tip drill now twice.
Yeah, and the offense coming away with the ball both times. How about that?
Made the stop. It's
1 for each team.
11. Ball's on the Ram 34-yard line.
Corfield's 3rd catch tonight. So here we go. It's going to be another 3rd down. 3rd down and call it 14. 3rd down and 11 officially. And we're going to get a timeout, a Pontius Insurance timeout called by, I believe Laurel called it.
Yes, I think you're correct.
Oh, Southside.
No, Southside.
By the Southside Rams.
Make sure you get in contact with Pontius Insurance online at pontiusinsurance.com for all your home, auto, or life insurance needs. You can call Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, or Tracy Giddens to get started today. So again, next week we're going to be back here for Laurel and Neshannock, which will officially decide the Big 7 and possibly a high seed for the Spartans if they're able to win that game.
Yeah.
Finish the season 9-1.
It's going to be a huge game for Neshannock in their pursuit of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're trying to get right is Neshannock after that setback last week to Southside. That was a highly anticipated game last year. It went the way of Neshannock. In fact, it really wasn't much of a competition in that game, but this Laurel team much different, vastly improved from a season ago. They're not going to enter that game on a slide either. 22-0 Mohawk as they end the 3rd quarter, so the Warriors are
staying alive.
Pretty much in win and get in mode next week.
Yeah.
And it looks like the night for Lucas Santini might be done as Matejevich fires, and that pass intended for Corfield is incomplete. Record-setting night for Santini as he became the all-time touchdown pass leader here at Laurel. He's got 3 of them tonight. 2 to Carlson and 1 to Jack Miles. He has put together a special campaign. Man, this team really grew up last year towards the end of the season, and they have carried that over this year. They are much, much better than a season ago, and they were pretty good last year.
Another 4th down and long situation here for the Rams. on their side of the 50 at the 34-yard line. They need 11 to keep this drive alive.
0 for 5 on 4th down tonight. Matejevich going to air it out, looking down the field. It's intercepted. And there's the 10th interception in the last 5 games. It's Tony Geiwitz. And that's another Madur Bonner Law change in possession for the 6th time tonight. This defense is playing out of its mind.
Geiwitz just playing center field there, just jumped up, grabbed the ball, and then return it all the way back close to the 45-yard line.
Looks like the ball will be set on the Rams.
We are going to see Josh Sherman in at quarterback now for Laurel. So Santini's nights and his night is over. Threw for 158 and the 3 touchdowns.
Not a bad night.
Cracker Jack and the Coltrane. Colton.
6 for 12 he finished tonight. Sherman and company will play out the string here with 7:49 to go. And they are going to go to 8-1 on the season. There's going to be another timeout called by Brian Cooper at Laurel, another Pontius Insurance timeout. We'll take one as well. 7:49 to go in this contest. Laurel up by 31 on the Lawrence County Sports Network.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition. Kick off the school year with a visit to Sims Cafe on Wilmington Road, serving breakfast, lunch, and signature beverages. Stop in, give them a call, or order online at simscafe.net. And remember, kids 10 and under get a free pancake or waffle every Saturday.
And we're going to get a whistle here.
I think we're going to have a false
out of the
start.
timeout.
Yeah.
It is a false start on Laurel. Just their second accepted penalty here tonight.
Yeah, 2 penalties for 15 yards here. Both teams only had 2 penalties each, I believe.
2 accepted.
Yeah, well, that's all that really matters.
Backs him up 5. There's a look at Jack Miles, the birthday boy.
Ah, happy wishes.
Touchdown a couple minutes ago to, for the moment, cap the scoring. Is going to get a couple of new guys in there for Laurel that time. It's Jack Jones who has the carry.
66, that is Cody Mailmauer.
Jones will pick up 3.
3-yard gain, 2nd down, 12.
Get some of these younger guys some work here late.
Yeah, great experience to be in the ball game in the 4th quarter. Continue to run your offense, get that experience under these Friday night lights.
Mason Moser is into the game as well. They do have the most of the first team, if not all the first team offensive line in there still. Geiwitz will motion. Hand off to McBride, and McBride is met by McCoy and company as he gets to the line of scrimmage.
J.J. McBride was the first.
Clock's going to wind under.
He got back to the original line of scrimmage.
7 minutes now is. I'm just floored by how Laurel has dominated this contest tonight.
It has been, you couldn't have drawn better for Laurel. It was a combination of running the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, and the effective passing of Santini, who is just went deep the entire night. His smallest pass, I believe, was about 18 yards here tonight. And it's just, he had absolutely all day to throw and just found his receivers every time he needed to.
They get a whistle here before this play develops. Checking something with Sherman there. I believe his equipment.
Yeah, I think we had an equipment failure here.
So Santini's actually going to have to come out there for one more play. Luca doesn't even have his back plate buckled correctly. There he goes.
He thought he was done for the night.
Stop the play. It appears that would have been involving Josh Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman just had to get something adjusted. It looked like on his helmet. So Santini's back out for one more snap on 3rd and 10. is going to fake it to Jones, and Luca is going to go up the middle, and Luca is going to get the first down.
Nifty play by Luca.
Why not?
Takes the pitch, keeps it. He's up near the 30-yard line.
They get a gain of 14 that time for Santini.
Yeah,
he's
now in the positive on the rushing side. He had that 17-yard loss because of that bad snap in the first quarter. Since then, he had a 9-yard run and a 14-yard run.
Officials move the change. That's 1st and 10, Spartans.
15th first down tonight for the Spartans as Sherman is going to come back out at quarterback now. There's a look at that Southside defense.
Take a timeout here, I believe.
Late in the play clock, so they wanted to avoid the penalty, and it looks like there is a timeout on the field.
And now it would be the final timeout, I believe.
Yeah, they
just reset the play clock. Okay.
Reset the play clock because of an issue there. It never reset after the last play. So we'll redo it here. Get everybody set up accordingly, and Sherman will take the snap. Hand off to Jones. Jones picking his way. Jones, good at a steam down to the 25. Good run that time of 5 by Jack Jones. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Jack Jones, the ball carrier. He's driving his way for yardage. Hauled down by Thorne.
Laurel team has looked so impressive tonight. Easily their most impressive victory of the season as they just keep on churning. We'll see what happens with single A, but Fort Cherry is going to be one of the favorite. Fort Cherry is the favorite. Clareton probably 1A as far as the favorite hierarchy goes. And off to Geiwitz on the sweep. Geiwitz going to cut back. Tony Geiwitz trying to make something happen. Geiwitz spins, and he gets all the way back to the 25.
Tony Geiwitz reverses field.
Basically ran about 45, maybe 50 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Finally pulled down by 25. Paxton short.
Yeah, so again, this is more impactful for seeding for division championships, as Laurel locked up a playoff berth 2 weeks ago when they beat Summit Academy. But some of the other teams that are going to factor into this now, you look at the Black Hills and Fort Cherry and Bishop Canevin are both there. Char Houston at 3-2 entering play tonight. Monessen at 2-2 entering play tonight. Clareton and Leechburg and Jeanette. And Sherman will hand off. And McBride, a big opening. J.J. McBride inside the 5, and he's taken down for 1st and goal. Schreier and Morgan make the stop. But that's a 20-yard gain for McBride to set up 1st and goal.
Another trip into the red zone. Visit the red zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock.
Remember last year, Jeanette beat Neshannock on the road in that playoff game in the first round. Then down in the Tri-County South, California is still 5-0. Jefferson Morgan at 4-1. Bentworth is at 4-1. Avella is at 3-2. They're 6-2 overall. And off McBride up the middle, and he is in the end zone for the touchdown.
And that is another Parada Jones-McCree touchdown. Parada Jones-McCree, attorneys at law. Excellence is our guarantee.
Keep on scoring. Down to 3:31 to go, and J.J. McBride. I mean, you go back to 2:14 in the first quarter, and it was 7-3 Southside. And from that point on, it's not going to be 42 unanswered points. The point after is good, and it is. 42 unanswered points for the Spartans as they are cruising to another victory here tonight against Southside on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Your score of the Spartans.
Nick's Auto Body, trust your body in our hands. From a scratch to a dent to a major repair, Nick's your man. Making your car look as good as new. Nobody does it better than Nick's Auto Body. Trust your body in our hands. Nick's Auto Body. Trust your body in our hands.
J.J. McBride, touchdown run, 45-7 Laurel, as that drive 7 plays in 4 minutes and 39 seconds on your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you as we're about to close this out here tonight. Running clock, the remaining 2 minutes. Laurel going to go to 8-1 overall. Southside is going to need some help to have a share of that conference title. There's a good return by Morgan as he gets up to the 40.
Guy was taken by Will Morgan, number 12.
Southside will put it in play to close this thing out here tonight. It's been a dominating performance by the Spartans. 42 unanswered points, all from the 10-minute and 26-second mark of the second quarter until now.
On the Ram 40-yard line.
This is a Southside team, again, that last week just decimated Neshannock on their home turf by 28. Laurel is going to beat them for the second year in a row. Last year they did it down in Hookstown.
You know, this Laurel team just continues to roll and find ways to just keep everybody's attention, and they find ways to win, and it's just an amazing job what they've done here today. To hold this team that's averaging 35 points per game to 7 points, impressive. Fumble.
And they're going to go up the middle here.
A little bit of trouble on the transition from center to quarterback.
Looks like we have a new quarterback out there. Will Hudson is out there.
Zach Carbone, 66, gets up last, so perhaps he was in on that.
Casey Wilson is going to be out. Jack Jones in. Alex Medved's going to come out. Jackson McVicker is going to come out. Their nights are going to be over. What a night by Casey Wilson.
Amazing.
Mohawk has won 29-0 over Freedom, so they are in unconfirmed at the moment, but winning get-in mode next Friday night. They have to win next Friday night at Riverside.
Fumble on the play.
There was a fumble on the play again, and that's going to go back over to Laurel. So another Madur Bonner Law change in possession. The 7th one tonight.
Impressive night here for the Laurel defense, and that'll do it. They won't even have to snap the ball again, as this clock will run out with the running clock. 45-7, but what a job here. You got to remember, Southside came into this game averaging over 35 points per ball game, and you held them to 7 points here tonight. Your defense only giving up 9 points per ball game. What a overall phenomenal job done here by the Spartans as they roll on the offensive side of the ball, scoring 45 points, led by Lucas Santini's arm, and the running and touchdown scoring of Carlson. It's just an amazing job here tonight. Everybody involved really had something to say, both offensively and defensively here tonight. They got multiple sacks in the ball game. I was just totally impressed on how this Spartan team held their ground against a very tough Southside at home. This, like you mentioned earlier, Southside coming into this game 17-2 in their last 19 road games. Impressive.
You can make it 17-3 now as Laurel takes apart Southside, and they are now in the driver's seat for the Big 7 championship. They can close it out next week right back here on their home field against their rival Neshannock. We'll step aside for a timeout. Tri-County Principals Association postgame show comes your way next from Laurel High School. The Spartans win it tonight by a final of 45-7 on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
You guys ready? Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
Kick off the school year with a visit to Sims Cafe on Wilmington Road, serving breakfast, lunch, and signature beverages. Stop in, give them a call, or order online at simscafe.net. And remember, kids 10 and under get a free pancake or waffle every Saturday. With new specials weekly, it's no wonder Sims Cafe is where sandwiches equal smiles.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the Trib Live Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and at tribhssn.triblive.com.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Welcome back to the Tri-County Principals Association post-game show. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you as Laurel tonight beats Southside. You see the score right there, 45-7. Let's take a look at our final stats, and then we'll run down the scoreboard for you. And there's a lot of interesting stuff going on across the region tonight as far as Lawrence County teams and also how it impacts some Lawrence County teams. So we'll get to all that here in a moment. Let's first take a look at our final statistics for the night. And there you see them right there for this contest. And Laurel really dominating this game tonight with a commanding performance both on the ground and in the air. Lucas Santini with 6 of 12 for 158 yards. Colton Carlson, 11 carries for 126. And how about Nathan Hill tonight, 11 carries for 51 yards. Let's take a look first before we get into the statistics at the scoring recap. Scoring recap is brought to you by Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen. So you go all the way back to the first quarter. And Tony Guywood's got things going with 6:09 to go in the first quarter with a 40-yard field goal, career-long 40-yard field goal. So Laurel goes up 3-0. 4 minutes and 15 seconds later, 4 minutes and 5 seconds later, AC Corfield scores from 5 yards out to cap a 7-play, 70-yard drive to make it 7-3 Southside. From that point on, 42 unanswered points for Laurel to win this thing going away, and in convincing fashion. Santini has his first touchdown pass of the night, a 29-yard completion to Colton Carlson, made it 10-7 Laurel, and then Carlson 8 minutes later goes in from 3 yards out on a 3-play, 65-second drive to make it 17-7. And at that point, you're thinking, like, this game is really teetering away from Southside, and they got to get a stop. Well, guess what? They didn't, because Santini comes right back 2 minutes later after another stop on 4th down and hits Carlson on a 40-yard bomb to make it 24-7 at the half. In the third quarter, Laurel takes up over 7 minutes, almost 7 minutes of clock time, 6 minutes and 20 seconds to be exact. Nathan Hill from 1 yard out made it 31-7. And then into the fourth quarter with 11:39 to go, Santini's third touchdown pass of the night, a 26-yard strike to the birthday boy, Jack Miles. 38-7 at that point, and then J.J. McBride with 3:31 to go caps it off with a 5-yard run to the final score, 45-7. And that's a look at your scoring recap, brought to you by Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen. Family-owned and operated general contractor for 4 generations. Their extensive construction experience, design capabilities, and creative process allow them to help any project meet any challenge. Building the communities for 70 years, Visit gembuilders.com for more information. Look at the final statistics here tonight. And again, Southside, they did what they normally do, which is run the football, and they actually weren't terrible at running the football at all. Some of the individual numbers are a little pedestrian compared to what they're used to, but 209 yards of total offense, 117 through the air, which nobody saw coming tonight, and 92 yards rushing in the overall for the contest. And this Laurel defense, A.C. Corfield's the leading rusher on this team, 14 carries for 44 yards. This is a kid that has 3,100 yards rushing in his career, had over 250 last week against the Shannock. And we said it at the beginning of the game tonight, this is a much different defense than the one, no offense to the Shannock, but this is a much different defense than the one Southside played a week ago. And they found out pretty quick as they hold them in check for the most part on the ground.
You know what? We talked about one of the keys of the game was their front seven defensively being able to make the plays and get them in second and third and long situations, and they were able to do that. They survived a lot of it. They got them on fourth down, and they made huge plays on fourth down. They turned over the ball, and they did that on the first drive of the game. It was a 4-and-out for Southside, and Laurel took over at their I believe at the 34-yard line, and then ended up getting a field goal on that drive. And really the scoring never stopped from Laurel after that as they just continued to dominate, and their offensive line just really did a terrific job. And this defense just adapted to seeing a wing team, something you don't see very often. And they were able to really follow the ball and get it. They had a couple big plays in the game for Southside, like you said, and they also, did what they do, but they couldn't really get into the red zone and get into the end zone at all here tonight. And that had a lot to do with this defense that caused all these turnovers on fourth down and then a couple turnovers later in the ball game, one on an interception, one on a fumble. But still, a phenomenal game for this defense that really set it up to really take control of this Big Seven.
You look at the rushing numbers for Southside there. That's a team that ran for 441 yards on the ground last week. They had 92 tonight.
Wow.
That is a big-time drop-off and a big-time performance by this Laurel defense, who's been great all season long.
Basically a 300-yard difference.
Just an amazing performance by this Laurel defense, who's been doing it all season long, really spearheaded by the defensive line up front with Wilson and Medved and Fuchs and Kevin Mahoney, those guys up front who coming into play tonight, 25 tackles for loss and 8 sacks. This team has now 10 interceptions over the last 5 games, and they're going to have close to 30 tackles for loss over the last 3 games. They are on one heck of a heater right now, this Laurel defense, and that's why they're in position to win the Big Seven next week against the Shannock. Individually for Laurel tonight, by the way, Todd Matejevich was 6 of 11 tonight for 73 yards, was picked once late in the game. But otherwise, a pretty good performance by Matejevich. He's going to be splitting the job with Dawson Frazier going forward beginning next week when Frazier returns to the lineup. For Laurel tonight, Lucas Santini, 6 of 12, 158 yards. They did have the one Carlson attempt, so Laurel finishes 6 of 13 in the contest tonight for 158 yards. Colton Carlson, 126 on the ground. Nathan Hill, 11 carries, 51 yards. McBride had 3 for 25. Nothing really else to mention in this contest tonight as Laurel does it on the ground as well. And Carlson did it through the air as well because he had 3 receptions for 87 yards tonight and a pair of touchdowns. A catch each for Sherman, Miles, and Hamilla to round out the receptions tonight for Laurel. And that's a look at your stats to conclude things here. Let's look at the scoreboard because there's a lot of stuff going on tonight that really impacts the Lawrence County teams. Let's start first in Class 4A with the Parkway Conference. And Newcastle was up at the last report. We had 56-7 on Ambridge. Now that's big. Obviously Newcastle, since they lost last week to West Allegheny, they have to win out to win the conference. And the other game that's going on right now at Heinz Field in Aliquippa, Montour has just taken the lead on Aliquippa. That was a 20-19 game with 8:16 to go. And Montour has just taken the lead on Aliquippa 25-20. Still plenty of time left there for the Quips. Still plenty of time in that game overall. But again, with only the teams, the 8 teams going and only 2 wild cards in 4A, it was important for Newcastle to win tonight. they more or less have a bid locked up. It's now going to become between Montour, West Allegheny, and Aliquippa as potentially one of those wild cards. Could be a situation in which all 4 of them come out of that conference, but it could be a situation tonight where if Aliquippa loses this game to Montour, they may be out of the mix. And that is shocking,
yes.
If you ask me. It's Aliquippa or Thomas Jefferson are probably one of those two is probably not going to make the 4A playoffs this year.
It is. It's absolutely shocking to think it could be Aliquippa.
Or TJ.
Yeah,
TJ
I agree.
Yeah,
I just but Aliquippa with the history of what they have achieved at the 4A levels, it's just right there. Just that statement is shocking.
Montour did just convert the 2-point conversion, too, so it's 27-20 Montour ahead of Aliquippa with 8:16 to go.
And that is the final for Newcastle, 56-7
All right, so big win for the Canes tonight. That is a huge win for the Canes tonight because they really needed to win their last 2. They have one more game left against Blackhawk. They'll be heavily favored in that game. A good get-right moment for the Canes tonight as they bounce back after that loss to West Allegheny a week ago. Countywide final. Shenango tonight loses to Fort Cherry 42-0. Shenango's still in pretty good position to get a playoff bid. We'll talk about playoffs here in a second. Mohawk had to win this game tonight against Freedom. They do so 29-0. So it boils down to this. It's not a guarantee win and get in next week for Mohawk. It's a better situation than it was a week ago. But if they lose, they're done. So they have to win next week at Riverside. More on that in a second. Wilmington defeats Sharpsville tonight 51-7. We mentioned Newcastle 56-7. Elwood City comes back. They beat Union tonight 41-6. And the game you had right here, Laurel defeated Southside tonight 45-17 or 45-7. And that's a look at your Newcastle Transit Authority going your way out-of-town scoreboard update. Gas prices continue to rise. Save money on gas and let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, the Newcastle Transit Authority going your way. Our final piece of business here tonight. We got a couple of awards to hand out, and we will do so right now. Let's first hand out the Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award, and we're actually going to share it among a handful of guys up front for Laurel. So the defensive line is going to get your play of the game tonight. How about 7 changes in possession tonight by this Laurel defense? 6 of them came by way of 4th down stops.
I mean, knowing who you're facing and what you're going to face is a team that was going to go on 4th down consistently throughout the ball game and run the ball. And we talked about how important that front 7 would be here tonight to follow the ball, to stay and remember their assignments and really work their assignments all game long, and they did. And what to perfection. I mean, they just a phenomenal job here tonight. And getting the win here at home, most important thing, hold the home field.
So we're going to go with Casey Wilson's sack on 4th down as the play of the game, but really the credit to the entire Laurel defensive front. Casey Wilson's going to be your Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game tonight, and Maley Chiropractic and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor Casey for his play of the game. He'll get a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's play. To view tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game and the full list of this season's top plays, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on Play of the Game. Congratulations to the big guy up front, Casey Wilson, for tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Our MVP Insurance MVP of the Game award, I believe he's a repeat winner of this award against Southside from last year, but Colton Carlson tonight is going to win that award. 126 yards rushing, 87 receiving. He had the pair of touchdowns tonight. Colton Carlson's your MVP Insurance MVP of the Game winner. He's going to also get a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being named tonight's Game MVP. To view the full list of this year's Game MVPs, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on MVP of the Game. Congratulations to Colton Carlson for being named tonight's MVP of the Game, MVP Insurance. Call MVP for the win. Again, next week we'll have our preview show on Wednesday night, Beyond the Scoreboard. We'll have a couple of other playoff matchups for you in volleyball coming up throughout the week, too. Just keep it tuned to the Lawrence County Sports Network for the volleyball schedule. Friday night, though, 2 big ones. The one will be right back here on Friday night for Laurel and Neshannock. That'll decide the Big 7 officially. Laurel's got the inside track on that. Neshannock still has to get their forfeit win over Rochester. They're still in the mix. If they beat Laurel next week, they get a share of it. If Laurel wins, they win it outright because they would have tiebreaker over the other two teams, and they would also finish the conference undefeated. So they would win it outright, likely get a top seed in the tournament coming up here in a couple weeks. Also next week, likely Mohawk Riverside again. It's not a win and get in guarantee for Mohawk. It's a lose and go home guarantee, but they will have an opportunity to get write their own script to get in the playoffs next week if they beat Riverside in the final game of the regular season. And what a remarkable comeback that would be for the Warriors if they can turn that season around and get into the playoffs after some of the struggles they've had all year long, including losing to this team right here back all the way back in week 1 of the high school football season. And then after that, it's playoffs. And just keep it posted. We'll have all the scores for you next week, next Friday night on the out-of-town scoreboard. So it's going to be a busy night. We're going to be scoreboard watching all night long at our 2 games. But again, Riverside and Mohawk, and also Laurel and Neshannock next Friday night. And also don't forget to stay tuned to the Trib High School Sports Network's live scoreboard show coming up after us. You can flip over to the Trib Live High School Sports Network to watch Don Rebel, and he'll break it all down for you tonight in what's been a wild night. And just one more update before we get out of here tonight. 5:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Montour leads Aliquippa 27-20. So that game is getting late in that one. And if Montour hangs on to win, oh boy, that is trouble for Aliquippa if they cannot manage to win this game here tonight. And don't forget, they're without their starting quarterback, Marcus Council, who is done for the season with a knee injury too. So they are up against it right now, down by 7 to Montour late. And that's a bit of a factor for Newcastle too. Newcastle's going to have to win next week to assure that they win the conference, at least a share of it, and pretty much have locked up a playoff berth. But you still got to take care of business against Blackhawk next week. Some final thoughts before we close shop.
Impressive performance by the Spartans here tonight. That front 7 on defense just did an amazing job controlling the line of scrimmage, not allowing the Rams really to be a functional offense basically between the 20s. Once they got close to the red zone, they shut them down, and it has been just a phenomenal effort. And then the offensive line on the other side of the ball gave Lucas Santini enough time all day long to find his receivers, and then Carlson just an amazing job both as a receiver and as a runner, and just an overall performance here. Really impressive with how Laurel played, and they're setting themselves up for a big run. We'll see how it continues next week against Neshannock.
The 10-week journey in the regular season comes to a close next Friday night. Again, a doubleheader. Laurel, Neshannock, 7 o'clock. Mohawk at Riverside, also at 7 o'clock. We'll talk to you next week from the game of your choice, whichever you want to watch, right here on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.